Yep, that's definitely two. Omelette du fromage, my sweet baguettes. Why am I speaking in French? Because I'm currently on French winter term, the French Revolution winter term, wherein I spend a week doing like a intensive study on the French Revolution. And then after a week, we hop, skip, boat ride, plane ride over to where it is that the French congregate normally, which is France. Go figure. And hang out in Paris for like 2 weeks. And I get to run around looking like an American idiot for 2 weeks. And just in the midst of transit issues as well. Yippee me! How is everyone today? How is all of my chitlins, my nuggets, my sweet, sweet baguettes? That's you guys. Hang on, I just got to make sure that I have the chat pulled up so I don't miss anything. I have my normal setup today. I feel so good to be back in my little corner of sanctity and Weeboness. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Those of you who thought that Polly was going to be here for a while, ha! Showed you. Hi, Polly. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Omelette du fromage to you, sir.
You say what about cheese?
Omelette du fromage.
Okay then. So how's things?
Things be good. As you can see, I'm back in my normal location, which means that, pause for effect. This happens.
Nice. Very
and
nice.
It also means that I have my nice scented candle.
What's the scent?
Cinnamon, because I'm a basic bitch.
Nice.
And I decided that I like drinking tea now.
You like drinking tea? Oh, is this why you were carrying on at length about a tea set in Monkey's Chat?
Yeah, all right, Polly. I went home for the last like 3 weeks, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And while at home, I had this like spontaneous feeling of domesticity, you know, where you're like, I'm gonna plot the entire existence of the rest of my life down to the trim within my house and what color of wood it's going to be. And so I'm in a very domestic mood. Like, how am I gonna furnish my house? How is it gonna look? Do I want a ceramic tea set or do I want a porcelain tea set? And apparently, I want a ceramic one, according to the internet.
You mean that's what got recommended to you?
That was what got recommended to me, yeah. But
are you going with one of these classic tea sets that's got like the tiny little cups that hold like a third of an actual cup of liquid, and they got the finger hole that's so small you can't even put your finger through it?
Actually, I think I'm gonna go with a Japanese style tea set, because my grandmother has like a whole plethora of them back at her place from when she used to live in Japan. And so, you know, I'd just be like, Nana, I like tea now, and I'm obsessed with Japanese culture. Gib. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, maybe I'll get something like that, because it would be a little bit more fulfilling for me, effective, I guess, just my style, if I got something that was genuinely from another country, something that was a little bit more antique, as opposed to just buying an old, ceramic, not an old, but a very brand new, mass-produced ceramic tea set from Amazon. Just like, nah.
Huh.
But yeah, that's what bred this whole idea of, I want a tea set. It's a very girly thing, I understand, but for whatever reason, I'm in a nesty kind of mood.
Well, make sure you tell your boyfriend, scare the shit right out of him with it.
No, okay, it's funny because last night before I left, not last night, 2 nights ago before I left to come back here, boyfriend and I had this lovely discussion of how we wanted our house to look. And he's like, yeah, I'm thinking maybe I build our little, homestead by myself with my own 2 bare hands, and maybe you help me a little bit. And I'm like, bruh, no way are we building a house within the next 10 years just by our little lonesomes. No. We need help. We need a little bit more help because I think he's got these delusions of grandeur on. Yes, we can do it. Well, we could, but it would take forever and a day. Plus, I don't know anything about anything that has to do with home nonsense. Building.
Daniel Fullman's got a great point here. A cocktail hour and Weebo's drinking tea.
Well, that was from dinner. I have a dessert wine right here that I'm about to open after I finish off that because I want to finish my tea, get nice and pumped up and warm, build a good base, a foundation, and then get shit-faced off of this California rose.
Sure.
So I have alcohol. It's on hold for the next 10 minutes while I build a solid foundation because I know about foundation. That's about it. I know what triggered it. I was watching the DIY network with my dad, and we were looking at home improvements, and these guys were going through houses that had some sort of damage and just ripping them to shreds and destroying parts of the house so that they could fix it because there was a crack in the foundation, and so they had to dig a hole in the backyard to fix the crack in the foundation from the outside in, and then put up a whole new inside interior in the wall that was fireproof and water damage proof. And then there was this other couple that had a shitty contractor come in, just botch the job entirely, and they repurposed the whole thing, the kitchen, the pool in the backyard, the flooring. It was a really nice hardwood, but it was fitted hardwood, so not just the stuff that you nail into the bottom. I don't know what it's called, but yeah. So I'm in a very nesty mood. In summation.
Okay.
Yep. Does anyone else get these little moods?
No.
No? It's just me then?
Well, I go off on kicks. That's what I call them anyway, where I get very excited and interested in something and they want to know everything about it real quick. But it's never like a tea set.
It wasn't just the tea set. It was all of the dishes that I could possibly want within my kitchen. I settled on the fact that I think I'd rather have a copper cooking set than just your average whatever it is that people normally get for their cooking. Your pots and pans, whatever. Because I like the aesthetic of that. I don't know, it's very frivolous. This is what I imagine. This is what I dream about. Whereas other girls...
I'm glad you said it before I could.
Other girls, they think about their wedding and, what kind of floral arrangements they want to have as centerpieces on the tables. I'm just no, let's elope and then build our house. It's my fortress. Oh, we even talked about mini panel slot things, for hiding weapons.
Yeah, I get you. I may or may not have weapons stored around my house in various locations.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair. Well, I was also thinking, because I was cleaning my room before I left to come back here, I have a fuck ton of a metric fuck ton of long and pointy sharp objects. And in the event that I procreate, those are going to be dangerous to an offspring.
Well, yeah, but at that time you do something different with them, right? That's when you just have you could have fun looking at vault walls and stuff like that. They're pretty hilarious to look at. There's drop down vaults from underneath tables and antique looking clocks that go up on fireplace mantles that are actually open from the back and they contain a space for a firearm. It's just great stuff. Great stuff. See, it's funny. I actually have thought about things that I want in my house, but it's never been what kind of china I want. It's been I want the walkways, secret walkways behind the wall that has
absolutely
the holes cut out in the eyes of the painting, so I can go stare at people. I don't know what I want to spy on them for, but
you fucking creep. That's weird.
Well, no, it's just I don't know. It's very old school intrigue mystery movie-esque.
It absolutely is.
I mean, who doesn't want secret walkways around? I want to be able to go down into the basement of my and a dumbwaiter. I don't know what I want one for, but I want one. Damn it!
I want and I talked about this. I talked about this on the professionals back in the day when we used to do that, right? I talked about wall to ceiling or floor to ceiling bookshelves and one that like swings out and has like a passageway behind it. But also
Sure.
it's gotta have the bar at the top with the rolly ladder. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just
We already talked about that on Cocktail Hour. You don't remember?
yes, we did. Oh my gosh, I've talked about it so much. But then there's also the underground escape route. So in the basement there would be just a hidden door with a tunnel that leads to the backyard somewhere, just in case. I don't know why you would need it, but just in case, you know. It would be cool. It would be so cool.
No, you know what? I don't blame you for thinking about these things. I just what is that? Oh,
What?
nothing. Just something that popped up on my screen. So what have you been doing all day? Just dreaming about China?
No. So I woke up super late, around 1 p.m., which is the latest that I've woken up at that time in forever. The reason was because I had like the worst stomach ache last night, and so I couldn't fall asleep until, I did. And I went to the gym, worked out, took a shower, then had some food, and then I went to the store to grab some food because I don't have a lot of food for the next week, and I don't know if the dining hall is going to be open or digestible. So I grabbed some num-nums and came back here, and I went through my syllabus for the like half a month that I have this class, trying to get stuff situated. And I've been prepping for Paris, but I also wanted to later tonight, probably after we get off here, go through this video that I want to write a script for, because I'm going to work on it all week, and it's going to be at least a 3 to 4 part video that I'll post up, and it'll go live when I'm not here, so I don't have to worry about that. I have like 8 million other things to worry about.
Okay, you want to hear something that I was doing out of, procrastination from doing actual work?
Yeah.
I've been yeah. This is so today I was trying to find hey on Holy Reaper, how's it going? I've been trying to find out something about a jazz singer, big band era singer by the name of Gene Parks. And because I was reading a book and she came up in that book, and I'm like, what can I find out about her? Now, jazz and blues are actually really well fucking documented online because it was such a widely spread thing. People love researching the depths of it, getting the old 45s and old albums that only exist. There's a whole network of rare blues record trading and purchasing that go for unbelievable sums of money. So I think someone's going to know about this Gene Parks. So I look it up online. I can only find scant references to her at all. And the most informative reference that I was able to find of her, and this is one of the few. Hold on here. Let me just share my screen. I found this a couple of days ago, and this is still as far as I can get, trying to discover something about Gene Parks. So this is a clip from Jet Magazine from 1951. Singer Gene Parks nabbed in dope/call girl raid. Now it's kind of fuzzy because I've increased the size of this like 3 or 4 times. It's actually like a 200 by 200 pixel thing. So I'll just go ahead and read it. Okay. Singer Gene Parks and a 6-foot platinum blonde, Lee Howard, were arrested in a plush $400 a month New York apartment, where police said the two had sold sex and narcotics to top-level government brass and businessmen. Police said Miss Parks and her blonde friend, who turned out to be her lesbian lover, by the way, on the low key.
Yeah, that happens.
Police said Miss Parks and her blonde friend leased the luxurious Eastside Manhattan suite earlier this year and did a 100 a night call girl business in 1950. Do the inflation calculation on that. $100 a night call girl business for them.
Hang on. In 1950?
Yeah.
$100. I want to run these calculations. 1950 to now. $100 in 1950 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $1,067 in 2020. That's over $900 in difference over 70 years. It's been 70 years since 1950.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Oh.
So hold on. It was $1,067.
Yeah,
Ah, fuck.
$1,057. Yeah.
Well, Gene Parks and Lee Howard have some golden pussy. Oh my god. Okay, seized in the raid was a thick black book listing well-known New York and Washington patrons, an opium lamp, quantities of opium, cocaine, and marijuana, and reefer-making paraphernalia. The 29-year-old former Dayton, Ohio entertainer, who has an arrest record as a dope addict and prostitute, returned to New York from Paris 6 months ago, reportedly after being asked to leave France as an undesirable. While in Paris, she operated her own club, Jean's Intrigue. Also appeared at the famed Carol's, but later got in trouble with the French authorities, reportedly for smuggling narcotics. Miss Parks was a once featured singer with the Earl Hines Band, and later a member of the all-girl Sweethearts of Rhythm. Damn! I was not expecting that when I went to go look into Jean Parks. Let's see what I can find out about her. Wow, she's living the fucking fast life, huh?
That's what you can find out about her. What is an opium lamp? Daniel Fulman asks. What is that? Should we look it up?
You might have seen it in a movie. It's like a shisha thing, except you put opium in the top.
Oh yes, I've seen those. Malik had one for tobacco like last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's identical to a shisha thing.
Yeah. I think it's time for the wine, Polly.
Is it?
It's time.
You finished off the tea?
Starting to taste not as delicious. Mm-hmm. Let's get that taste out of my mouth.
I moved on to hard cider.
I like hard cider. Hookah. That's what an opium lamp is like. Okay.
Indeed, it does. Yes.
I like rosé. Not a lot of people do. I've heard. Apparently.
Yeah, it's like white Zinfandel or rosé, as it gets called. It's just it. I appreciate that a lot of people like dessert wine, but I'm not a fan of sweet wine.
That's okay. More for me. I need
Geograph, it's like LOL, Dayton. Yeah, I know, right? You don't picture Dayton producing gangsters, but
Not at all, but she the OG. And I need to update the masses on the condition of the house since I have returned to it. The cat is still alive, has not been eaten yet. Thank the Lord. But in other news, the kitchen was a wreck. I had to throw out like 6 cartons of eggs, a whole thing of OJ, lactose-free milk that expired in October. Mm-hmm. It was super thick. It was a thick boy. Why are we deleting messages? Was that an accident? I hope that was an accident. Oh, that was an accident. Anyway, what else? So clean that out. One of the housemates had decided to just not take the trash out, and instead he tied it off and left it in the trash thing, and he'd been using boxes that he'd left in the kitchen as a garbage container, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it was overflowing with this just a mass of used paper towels. Used for what? I have no idea. So that I got to the point where I was just like, fuck this nonsense. I took the garbage bag out and I put it in another garbage bag because it was leaking. Yay. And then I just tossed it in front of their side of the hallway. And then I took all the nasty garbagey type things out of the boxes and I put it in another garbage bag. And then I put all of his empty boxes in front of the same hallway and then, filled the new garbage bag with all of the expired food items. And so hopefully it's better.
Okay.
But I fear that when I come back in like a week from now, 2 weeks, or 2 weeks from a week from now, sorry. When I come back, it's going to be no better. No bueno. It's going to be bad. Ugh. Anyway, so that was what I had to deal with when I came home. I'm not happy about it, Polly.
Well,
we had a meeting and everything with the RA, and apparently that did not improve the situation.
I don't know. You sound a little Karenish when you say things like that.
What?
What?
What? How? What makes me sound Karen-ish?
I want to talk to your manager.
I didn't say I want to talk to your manager. I said I have asked them to clean up their trash for forever now. Can we speak to an RA to figure this out? Because this is disgusting.
Yeah, I think a man just would have went over there with a gun.
Well, I'm not allowed to have a gun on campus, otherwise I get expelled. That's actually happened to someone that I know at this campus. They didn't have a gun, but they had a projectile thing. Something that, like, exploded projectiles. I am not prime Karen. It's not very Karen to just want to live not
Karen.
It's not very Karen. It's actually rather very human to not want to live in a disgusting hellhole of, in a collection of boxes and garbage.
So no one's asked if I did my homework. I did.
Yes, he did. He did.
And Weebo supervised to make sure that I finished my homework.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess is one way to look at it.
No, we watched it together. It was very cute. He was asking all these questions because, for whatever reason, Polly has the attention span of, like...
Weebo.
Yeah, me, actually.
Like, don't even try to avoid it. It was... I was totally cool with watching that film with Weaves because I was like... She was pausing it when I didn't even need her to pause it. Like, if you know what I mean, like I was just going to ask some quick question, like, okay, wait a minute. So that guy's who? Like, I just want to know his name. And she'd be quick to pause it over and over again.
Yeah.
I could hear her working on stuff the whole time. So she had like split attention in the whole 9 yards. It was, I don't know. I don't want to say I liked it because you got Ranting Monkey asking me what brand of tampon I use after telling him I watched it.
Oh, ignore him. He watches he likes chick flicks too. Don't let him give you that.
It was you know what, I was glad to satisfy the mystery for me in the sense, what's the deal? I've heard of this Pride and Prejudice, or as I've come to know it, hubris and bigotry. I've heard of it forever and a day. So now I've finally seen it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, now I get it. I get what the attraction is for especially girls. I understand sort of like the writing. Yeah, some of the dialogue is pretty crackling. So, I understand that part of it. It actually makes me want to see like some of the other versions, because no matter what, I told this one IRL friend of mine that I'd watched it, and she said, which one, the Keira Knightley one? And I said, yeah. She goes, oh, that was the wrong one. You shouldn't have watched that one. Well,
I'll let you off easy, all right? Because the BBC miniseries is like 6 episodes long, each an hour or something. Or maybe they're 8. I don't know.
But there's another one, though, right? Like, in addition to that's movie length, isn't there?
There's the Pride and Prejudice and Zombie one.
Oh, really? I thought there were 2 feature film Pride and Prejudice that...
No, not to my knowledge. It's just the BBC miniseries, the zombie one, the Keira Knightley version. Oh, and then there's like a what if this had happened after the fact fanfiction-y type version that the BBC did as well. I've only ever seen it once, but it's about 3 episodes long.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with the original. Well, it does, but it's after the fact. But I don't think that there is another feature length, unless it's like the super old one. Because there have been a few other older renditions, I believe.
So yeah, I'll tell you something. A movie's got to be some goddamn annoying in a very particular way for me not willing to be willing to watch it. If someone's going to watch it with me and they're willing to put up with my constant questions and commentary.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, fuck that guy. That guy's a prick. Like, and shit like that. Like, if there's some people I know that watching a movie with them, you might as well not watch it with them. Like, there really isn't a point other than the physical presence of them being there. Yeah. Ex-girlfriends have been like that, where it's like, shh, like shushing you. I'm that guy that people hate in a movie theater because, yeah, you're damn right I talk. So
I do the same thing, which is why I think that we're so okay with each other when we're watching a movie, because I have a tendency to go off on characters or plots or the director or whatever, for making stupid ass decisions, or just for something not being historically accurate. Like,
I would have
Caleb
gone the
and
whole film if I hadn't asked, thinking that the
yeah,
the upper crusty redhead was Darcy's sister.
yeah, he thought that Caroline Bingley was Darcy's sister and not Bingley's sister. But I guess you just didn't pick up on that. Maybe, I don't know.
No, I didn't. I legit didn't, because, well, remember, I was calling them like scowling face man, and like I was just making up names for them, right? Like
the man with the quizzical brow.
Yes, the man with the quizzical brow. Yeah, because that's what somebody called him, and that's easier to remember than
Darcy.
The way that they were all talking, that, you know, oh, he had $5 or $7,000 a month, the lower income guy.
No. The lower income guy was $5,000 a year.
5,000. Oh, right, a year.
Yeah.
I thought that because the way they were all talking amongst each other and running, all the sisters, I thought there was only one guy coming. So I thought Darcy, the taller, sullen guy standing off to his right or whatever, was, I don't know, like his assistant or servant or buddy or whatever. I didn't think that there were two highly eligible bachelors coming to town. I didn't even clue into that.
Yeah, no. After you get introduced to the three, after they produce themselves at the public ball, it is essentially, they start talking about Darcy and introducing him as the 10,000 a year eligible bachelor, highly eligible bachelor, who's got, you know, a stick up his ass or what have you. Okay, before we continue on, I just want to address this. Thank you to the Golden Age Radio for the donation over on the Streamlabs. I can't wait to watch Weebo rage at Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas on movie night. Oh yeah, that's right. We're thinking about doing another movie night this week. In the Discord though. But Polly, you can come if you would like. I don't know what we're watching though. It was either a movie night or
said Fear and Loathing in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Didn't you just say you were watching Fear and Loathing?
Well, we hadn't decided on it, but I guess
okay.
We must be ? I don't know. But I do because I did. Okay, so I got a chance to
Hunter S. Otter. I guess
I heard you talking about the Pride and Prejudice that you watched like the day after on Monkey in the Morning, I think it was, while I was out grocery shopping, because that's what I do with my free time. Is I just listen to the ramblings of old men, you know, on the internet. For no reason. Have your opinions developed a bit more from that point?
Well, the reason why I'd say that I'd like it is because, God, man, a lot of the movies I've seen that have been like new to me have been forgettable. Remember I said that like right afterwards, as I remember all kinds of scenes, and that movie made an impression upon me because there were scenes that made impressions. If I'm sitting there going, I hate that guy, or I really like that guy. Okay, the writer's basically winning because they're making me care about the characters, even if the care means I hate you.
Exactly.
Where it's like, you know, I watched Last Jedi being a Star Wars fan from childhood, and I was just like, I don't care if all of these people die right now in a giant supernova. I couldn't, because this is just a giant Disney funded fanfic. This is awful. Like it was empty. It was flat. There was nothing there. I just didn't give a damn. And at least like that's not my kind of movie. Like a movie that's based entirely around upward social mobility and romance entirely, and it's not a story inside of a larger story or anything. That's not my usual fare at all. Mm-hmm. But I cared. It was well written enough that I gave a damn. It was very memorable. So yeah, I liked it. It was I'm only going to see it again if somebody wants to watch it with me. It's not like the kind of thing I'm going to go get a fucking 1080p Blu-ray of, you know what I mean?
That's fair. But you don't regret watching it, do you?
No.
Okay.
No. It's worth your 2 hours. That would be the kind of thing that, like, yeah, if I had tried watching that on my own, it probably would have happened in 5 or 6 segments, because I would have kept like getting up and walking away from it, probably because I didn't know what was going on or whatever. I had no one to bug questions of, and that's how I ended up getting duped into watching all 5 Twilight films. I told my girlfriend at the time, yeah, I'll watch it, but you got to put up with me, which means the constant questions and my running series of jokes, because I've heard the things about these movies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to want to, you know, what the fuck? Why the hell did that just happen? Well, that's stupid. Why didn't he just, and why do they keep caring about this woman? She hasn't earned it. That was my major rage point of Twilight is everybody immediately loved Bella, and it got to the point of lunacy. It was people were willing to lay down their life for her after only knowing her for an extremely short time, and it's like, why? But
yeah, no, I get it. I remember watching Twilight. I think the books were definitely a lot better than the movies, to be quite fair. Before we continue, because I do have one more question for you. The Golden Age Radio donated previously to say Weebo is the most productive alcoholic I have ever met. I'm sorry I missed that. I don't know why I missed that, but I missed that. So I got it. We're good. I'm up to date. All Gucci. And also, if you would like to donate to either of the co-hosts that you see on the dais here, Polly or myself, both of our links to our Streamlabs are found in the description, as well as you can donate to our super chats as well, if you feel the need to, but only if you feel the need. Polly needs it more than I do, so donate to him probably more. He's trying to upgrade his potato.
Yeah, well, no shit. I'm going to, I figured that I'm going to show people just the kind of like state that my computer is in for streaming. Yeah. I think I'm just going to screen share when I go to do something, when I'm like streaming Noir Bar or whatever. And like, okay, watch the slow grind of me trying to click and open my messages in Twitter alone. And the computer runs fine for just watching this or that. But as soon as you're asking it to do multiple things, it's you're streaming. Oh my God. It's awful.
Yeah, because streaming
it's not
a lot of effort.
Yeah.
That's why
Polly needs a new potato. Yes, he does.
It's a computer just to be able to handle all of the things that I demanded of it. Okay. My last question.
Your last question. Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So originally we got into this homework assignment because you wanted to know what I held in regard, like high regard, romance-wise for cinema, right?
What in your mind was fictional high romance? Because you thought Rick and Ilsa in Casablanca was flat and not romantic, which still shocks me. But
so does this give you some indication of what it is I'm looking for, or do you see what I see in this movie?
I mean, it is very romantic. My favorite scene in the movie is the exchange at the Horse's Tea House.
Mm-hmm. It's a good exchange.
Yeah, now that was great because it was kind of a reversal thing. Like, yeah, she's outspoken. Mm-hmm. Lizzie is outspoken, but not like that. You know what I mean? Like, she's like kind of came out and threw it out there. And this guy usually Mr. Furrowbrow and so reserved. And he's like, I do declare my love for you, and I want you to know. And she's shocked and says, you love me? Well, I'll have you know that I blah blah blah. You really think that I would? A man who had done such to a beloved sister? And it was great. The funniest scene of the movie is Keira Knightley, who just did a great job acting, trying to turn down her cousin's marriage proposal. That scene was funny as hell. Like, she's like, stop, was like the whole thing. Just stop what you're doing. Just stop. Because he's going on and on and on. And she's like, I assure you, sir, I could never make you happy.
That's where we get the rape flower from, ladies and gents.
Yes, he approached her with a rape flower.
He puts the flower down right next to her, in front of her, and she's looking at it terrified. She's just like, oh, fuck, I know what's coming. And then she looks up at him, and he gets on his knees, and he's assuring her of the violence of his affections. And I'm just
I ended up liking what's my favorite character ended up being her father. Played by Donald Sutherland. It was like, poor guy, he's just sitting there wanting to read his newspaper and constantly beset by all these problems, and everyone's always fucking with him, and he's just trying to relax. And that was a great exchange between Lizzie and him at the end of the movie. I really dug that. Where it's 2 in 1 day. Well, send the rest in. We'll just
There's another man at the door who wants my daughters for marriage. Send them right in. I'm perfectly at my leisure.
Well, I mean, number one nowhere asks, what does Weebo's homework get to it, Polly? Oh, I already know what movie I want Weebo to watch if she hasn't already seen it.
All right.
It's the greatest film in the past 15 years.
You said that about Casablanca, I think, or something. Or
well, Casablanca didn't come out 15 years ago.
Oh, 15, not 50.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
Casablanca came out like over 70 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm thinking about it. That was a stupid thing to come out of my face hole. All right, what?
Wow, the dessert wine hits you fast, girl. The Departed. Have you seen
The
it?
Departed. What's it about?
What's it about?
Because I might have, but I might not remember.
Gangsters and cops in Boston, basically.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I know that I have not heard that.
It is
or I've not watched that.
No? Okay. It's a remake of a film called Infernal Affairs. It's Martin Scorsese's remake of Infernal Affairs. He saw it, loved it, and thought, I can remake this in a completely different cultural context in America instead of being based in Hong Kong. It's going to be based in America. And it's, I like both films a lot, and people love debating over which one they liked more. A lot of people liked Infernal Affairs more. What makes it a great film is like, here, let me give you like the quick elevator sell on it. Okay. You've got, it's a duality, two sides of the same coin, et cetera, et cetera. Two guys trying to find each other, and they're right next to each other, and they don't even realize it. Sort of like a double effect sort of situation. You have two guys who come out of the state police academy in Massachusetts, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is a super corrupt guy who has been corrupted by the local mob boss, played awesomely by Jack Nicholson.
Ooh.
And the super corrupt guy is Matt Damon. And
Ooh.
He rushes, to the top of the getting his detective shield and so on. But he's feeding information to his mob boss friend, Jack Nicholson, who he's known since he was a kid. Right. And then you have a guy who was raised around corruption, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, who I want to go straight. I'm going to go to the State Police Academy. And he gets approached. Hey, we want you to go undercover. We want you not to be a state trooper. We want you to go undercover in Jack Nicholson's mob team.
Wait,
so you are
DiCaprio and
Matt Damon.
Or Matt Damon, sorry.
And Matt Damon. So Matt Damon is working for the cops and is actually a rat for Jack Nicholson. Mm-hmm. Leonardo DiCaprio is working for Jack Nicholson, but actually a rat for the cops. And they're both assigned to find each other. It's like you find out who the rat is in the police department, okay? And you go, and that's him. He's assigned to find the rat, and he's the rat. And then Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the guys. Find the rat in our mob family when he's the rat. It
sounds like a Scooby-Doo episode. Almost. You know how like in Scooby-Doo episodes you have they're searching for the monster and they're going through all of the doors. There's always that one scene where there's like a hallway of doors and they run in one door, the monster runs out the other door, and then they run in a different door from the other side or down the hall or whatever. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Or at least that is the level of hilarity that would ensue.
Yeah. And it's a classic Scorsese film in that there is no star of the film. It's an ensemble cast. So it's not always the one guy. I mean, they've got, what's his name? Martin Sheen plays the chief detective who's searching it out. And Alec Baldwin is another senior detective. Just the list goes on. There's lots of great actors in it. And Mark Wahlberg, people are talking about in chat, who plays like the guy who's the head of the undercover investigative section. And he's super hard-nosed asshole. And the movie ends on a surprisingly depressing note, but I don't find it to be depressing. I think that film has layers. I'm a big believer in that film has layers. Some people just view it as a classic gangster film. I don't think so. I think a lot of the stuff that they explore and get into, and Leonardo DiCaprio's character, William Costigan, Billy, ends up seeing a psychiatrist and developing a relationship with her, which he really shouldn't be having, et cetera, et cetera. And there's, again, the duality runs throughout that film. Why shouldn't he be with this one psychiatrist or any psychiatrist? And he's also a drug addict, and he's always, addicted to opiates, but he's living under constant pressure, being discovered and killed in any second for being a rat inside the mob. But then again, Matt Damon's living under the same pressure, but he deals with it differently. It's just, man, I love that film. Love it.
I just heard crashes.
I heard crashes. I thought
I'm
that
not
was
gonna
you.
worry about it. It's fine.
I thought that was you bumping your desk or something.
Nope. Okay, low key, I might have actually seen this movie already, but I probably also haven't. I just think I might have because so many of the actors I've seen so many things, like Matt Damon, Marky Mark, you know.
Sure. It's some people say, like, did anybody really stretch beyond what they're usually doing in terms of acting? And I don't know. I'd kind of have to say not. Jack Nicholson plays Jack Nicholson, and yeah, he plays a great Jack Nicholson in this film. He's so enjoyable watching him kind of be his Jack Nicholson self. If you love Nicholson, you're going to love him in this. Leonardo DiCaprio gets accused of yell acting a lot. That's the only way you can show him emotion is to yell. Well, he says film, and so it's like, yeah, no one's really stretching their acting potential. Alec Baldwin is playing who he usually plays.
Alec Baldwin's in this too?
Yeah.
All right, I need to see the full cast and crew. We got, oh shit. Oh shit. That's a lot of good people. I mean, actors that I've seen and like.
Yeah, Number One Nowhere says it has layers if you care about dissecting the actions of bad people. I do, actually.
Yeah, actually.
There are no good people in that film. And it's interesting. I developed I've seen that film a whole number of times, and it's like I've developed a hate on for one of the characters. I won't say who, where it's like that person is just the fucking worst person in this whole movie. And it's usually it's not who people end up having a problem with, but I do. I can't stand this person because I
won't give too much away because I do want to see it.
That's what I mean. That's why I said just they. I left it vague. You know, nothing even engendered.
Side tangent for a sec. Thank you to Lion Patriot for the donation over on the Streamlabs. Ricky Gervais is tearing Hollywood a new butthole at the Golden Globes right now. Well, good for Ricky. I hope he does a good boy.
Dana Fullman asked, did I find my nutmeg box? I did not. I ended up using a really small hold cheese grater that I had to grind. The Ira Prostate says that Nicholson was patterned after Whitey Bulger. Oh, fuck, absolutely he was. That's a big-time Irish mobster in Boston that ran Boston for a long time, and they went on the run from the FBI and was on their most wanted list, and they ended up catching up with them out in California, I believe. Yeah, Nicholson's character is absolutely patterned after that guy. It's all about Irish. And if you hate the Bostonian accent, oh man, that movie's just going to drive you up the wall. But I find it awesome. So yeah, we should set a date, because then you can ask me, like, set a date to watch it, because then you can ask me about like all the things that are going on, because that film, you're not going to get it the first time unless somebody's pointing out, did you notice that this guy did this? Oh yeah, well, hey, that's keep an eye on that.
I have to sneeze. Nope, it's not happening. God damn it. You ever have that?
Yeah, the sneeze that snuck away, it sucks.
The one that got away. Sorry. That's why I was making that face, that retarded face. No other reason. Anywho, that reminds me, since we're talking about future plans and such, I'm gonna be in Paris for like 2 weeks this month. So I don't think I'll be able to do a show, unfortunately.
Who are you telling?
You.
Oh, okay.
And the audience.
Are you telling the audience you're not going to be able to do cocktail hour? Because I already knew that. Or you're going to be 2 weeks like this month, so you're not going to be able to do the movie. Because you said a show. That's pretty vague.
Yeah, I can't do like the next. Let's see. So I'm supposed to get back. Like the 20. No, should be sooner than that, right? It's that week of the 19th, I think. I should be getting back that 22nd. So I might be, I should be able to do the 26th. But yeah.
When do you leave?
I leave for Paris Saturday. This Saturday afternoon.
Well, have fun in the filth pit that was once a great city.
Was it ever really though? I mean, I've heard things, but
yeah, they had nice architecture. I'll give them that. And they've got great PR as being the city of romance. Whether it was ever actually that great, that's a good question. But enjoy the caliphate.
I'll have an entire day to myself to go touring and see the catacombs. Why am I excited about that? Normal people don't get excited about seeing underground graveyards, do they? I do.
Well, I would love to see catacombs, especially the much older ones, like the ones in Rome. Rome is somewhere I've never been that I'd really like to be in. And I understand it's a trash pit as well.
Well, for whatever reason, all of the great cities that you hear about, like Chicago, New York, I went to Athens, all kind of trash in their own way, or have like this distinctive factor to them.
New York had the greatest factor that I've ever seen. No offense to anybody that lives in New York or is from there. I just found it to be the city of over promotion. I found it grimy and industrial, and the reputation of New Yorkers is well earned.
I don't think I could live in a city full time.
Oh, any city?
No. Well, maybe. Oh God, what is that one city in Canada? Oh, it's on the East Coast. Oh my God, I'm totally blanking on it. But it's a really pretty city. I think it starts with a V question mark.
With a V?
Not a V. Oh God. I don't know why I'm Toronto. No, not Toronto, not Montreal.
Assassin the Grey says, I left New York and emigrated to America.
Oh, what is it called?
Like the far east coast of,
I think, right?
Vancouver's on the west coast, not the east.
Sorry, the west coast. Oh, God.
Yeah, I've been to Vancouver. It is. There's a reason it has the nickname Honcouver, though. I mean,
True, but I've been there once and I really enjoyed it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
it confused everybody.
I went out to when I was in Vancouver. I went out to Vancouver Island on the boat that they have to take you out there. Well, ferry, I guess. It wasn't no small little boat. God damn, that island is fucking beautiful. Like, I mean, it's no small island. It's an island like fucking England is an island, or the British Isles are an island. It's huge, and it's just like green, rainy paradise kind of place. It's yeah.
Oh shit, is Beardy on Vancouver Island? Definitely a reason to go visit him there. I miss Beardy. Sad face. But yeah, I went to Vancouver right before I went up to Alaska. You ever been to Alaska, Polly?
No.
Ooh, you're missing out. It's
really
gorgeous up there. Yeah. Not to live, but to visit, certainly. It's expensive to live up there.
Yeah, it's like the living expense numbers that I see for Hawaii. It's like, damn.
It's pretty, but not worth it.
Yeah, like it's like and meth everywhere in Hawaii. I mean,
it's
like
because it's Hawaii.
They got like a hyper meth problem out there, man.
Do
they? Yeah. Yeah. The underrated city to live in, unexpectedly, Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, if you're not a gambler, so you're not gonna gamble your life away and end up living in the streets. Check out the average property costs there. Buy a house. It's nuts. How cheap it is. If you can get a job there, not in the hospitality industry, meaning you're not working in a motel, and I realize that's 70% of the people that live there. But let's say, I would love to get a job at UNLV. Oh yeah, Oh yeah, if there's a job opening at UNLV, I'll be applying with alacrity, man. I'll be pursuing that job, and I'm your guy indispensably. I'd love to live in Las Vegas, man. Like the weather's great. Flying in and out of there is cheap as shit because they exist by virtue of their ability to have people fly in and dump their money off, right?
Yeah, so you have to make it.
Yeah, so they have no airport fees. Like all the hidden surcharges that they charge airlines to land there and take off from there don't exist from the Las Vegas airport. So if you live there, even though it's not a hub airport, it might as well be because you can fly in and out of there for so fucking cheap that it's like, this is awesome. You're always flying to and from Las Vegas because that's where you live. There's like 100 fucking reasons that Las Vegas is a great place to live. They want everything to be cheap. It's like, Weebs, can you imagine? It's like, 3:00 in the morning. Hey, you want to go to a prime rib buffet?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? You want to go get jumbo shrimp cocktails at 5 a.m.? Sure, let's go do it.
Huh. Boyfriend actually did suggest to me once, hey, we should move to Las Vegas. One, because he really likes to gamble. And he's actually really good at it, specifically poker, I guess.
Okay.
I've never played him, so I don't know how good he is. But he's good at gambling, and so he's a love for Las Vegas. But I said, yeah, if we're in Las Vegas, I don't think that's a very good idea because I don't know. Seems like you don't want to live somewhere where you love to blow money on the chance that you might be able to make it back. That seems like a recipe for disaster to me. If you have less self-control when it's right there in your backyard.
Yeah, and I'm not a gambling guy, never have been, so it'd be like, hell yeah, that would be the place for me. I'm the kind of guy they don't want in Las Vegas because I'm showing up and I'm not looking to dump all of my money and leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm showing up and taking advantage of all like the cheap buffets and the watered down free drinks and shit. And like that's my job. And there's one podcast that I listen to where they live in Vegas and they're forever talking about like these little things like in the off season in Las Vegas, where it dips all the way down to 80 degrees.
Oh no.
Yeah. I guess if you're a resident of Vegas, there's the hotels and the pools and the stuff, you have access to them. You can use them. And it's part of like the Las Vegas City Council's thing of like resident advantage. Like, you know what I mean? That if we're going to dump all of these low taxes on hotels to build here and all of this other stuff, you have to allow the people that live here access to them because you're taking up all of the prime property with your giant corporate business ventures. Yeah. And so they have like free access to the... Yeah, so they have free access to the pools and they can use the gyms and they can do all this other stuff. You just have to be a resident. And I'm like, I'm hearing all this stuff through this one podcast I listen to, and then you see the cheap house rates and then you see how awesome UNLV is. And Assassin of the Gray asks, what is that? Is University of Las Vegas, UNLV.
University of Las Vegas. I didn't know that there was an actual place that you could educate people down there at.
I mean, you wouldn't think so, right? It'd be like, what is that? Like stripper pole No.
I guess for whatever reason, I just have this notion in my head that Las Vegas is exclusively just made up of hotels and casinos or whatever. And no one actually lives there, so they have to all commute from...
I hear you.
Out of the city or whatever. That's just the opinion or the thing that I have in my head. But I guess, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. No, I mean, that is the perception. And I totally get that because that's kind of what I thought until I heard like people talking about who live there or have lived there. One of my friends from grad school lived there for like 5 years. And he's like, no, not at all. Fuck yeah, absolutely. Like the main strip, it's like a normal town. It's just when you go to the strip, all of a sudden it becomes freaking gambling Disneyland,
Gambling Disneyland.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is New Vegas. Yeah, it would be nice to visit a little bit, but not live there, I don't think.
Not only Reaper and Eve both, and some other people I think too, asked about the traveling otter. Did I tell you the story about this already?
Didn't Far make that for you?
She did.
I heard it on that episode.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, okay, so I did.
The Monkey in the Morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a picture that Far drew in reference to a story that I told.
Mm-hmm. It had to do with the religious people,
Yeah.
right? They were asking you, are you religious? And you're like, yeah. And then they're like, what about atheists? And you're like, they burn in hell.
Well, I said dress lightly, hell's hot, and
Okay.
they took great umbrage that I
I
had
don't
told.
know why.
So
Did you say it
far
like
being the
last
shit
week?
poster that she is, had to immediately draw a picture of a otter dressed in vacationing clothes going somewhere where it's extremely hot, and I really
Adorable.
dug that picture.
I
Yeah,
like
and
it.
Eve's right. It's like 85% of my avatars are drawn by Far, because Far's otters are best otters. So yeah, and she's wide open to commissions if anybody wants to. Anybody needs art done for their channel or wants a new avatar or a t-shirt design or anything like that, you can hit her up on Twitter. She's totally open to that stuff.
I might ask her to draw me an otter so that I can finally put it in the thumbnail of the cocktail hour thumbnail. Because my current otter is uh,
What? Well, you could
I
take
mean,
this one. This kind of looks like the otter that would be going to cocktail hour.
well, it has to fit the aesthetic, you know. Here, let me show you what I have so far. It's on the other computer, so I have to find it. Thumb.
Oh yeah, evolved potato is a evolved potatoes potato is a Far original too. That's right.
You kind of look like a bald Danny DeVito. I'm not gonna lie.
In the picture you have?
The one that I'm trying to make. Yeah. Hang on, I have to send it to myself because it's on the other computer, not this one. So. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
I'm sorry. I apologize profusely for what you're about to see and witness. Here, let me just. I'll send it to you directly, and then I'll screen share it.
Yeah, I saw Jordan's otter that he posted. It's like this famously fat otter I've seen a bunch of pictures of a whole bunch of times, and
All right.
Weebo with the Karen hair.
All right. Hey, are you ready?
What?
For
It's
this?
it's true. It's just, you just look on Twitter, you'll see.
Are you ready for the Danny DeVito otter?
Yeah, I am. I don't know if he looks like Danny DeVito, but he really looks sad or scared. I'm not sure which. He's frightened by the giant martini glasses. It's
I was using a cute, adorable otter as a reference, and I don't know why, but he just came out so sad.
yeah, I dig his smoking jacket though, and it's purple like mine.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that. I was like, Polly wears a purple smoking jacket, so we're gonna put him in a purple smoking jacket.
Oh, Daniel Fullman reminded me the uncomfortable truth. Did you do the Christmas project with Weebo? We wrote it, and I began the project, and I'm about a third of the way through doing it. I ran into a technical difficulty, and then I got angry and decided to put it away for a day and come back at it the next day, and then didn't. And then it'll get done. I'll finish it. It'll be done long before Weebo leaves for Trash Town. So
He said that it would be done by New Year's last week.
yeah, well.
Good shit.
It was going to be, but then, circumstances conspired.
That's fine. I'm also behind on my upload content agenda, which I totally 100% blame on the fact that I was home for break. And when I'm home for break, you'd think that I would have more free time than when I'm at school, but you would be wrong, Polly. You would be very wrong.
About what?
Well, if you thought that I was like when not at school, I have more free time.
I don't know. I think your color-coded Google Calendar is largely fiction.
It's not. It's 100% legitimate. Polly, I am offended. No, but okay, so like I come home for a break, And immediately, the day that I get home, if not like the day after I get home, it's, hey, you want to go out for lunch? Hey, do you want to go for dinner? Hey, can you come over? Hey, we'd like to really see you and spend time with you. Hey, are you busy this day, this day? Oh, since you're not busy, we're gonna have this thing, so you got to be there. Would you like to go to this nativity retelling of the birth of Jesus and everything after that? And this deep dive into Revelations for Christmas. Yes? No? All right, you're coming anyway, so we're going to take you. Oh, and then after we're going to go to Chipotle, but we're not going to tell you. Stuff like that.
Chipotle? Is that what you just said?
Chipotle.
I could have sworn you just said Chipotle, but okay.
I said Chipotle. I would have said probably, I'm not that drunk. Maybe you are drunk.
But you know what I find interesting about this is that most people humble brag, whereas Weebs has developed and perfected the complaint brag.
Like, how dare I be so popular?
I got so many problems you don't know. Everyone wants to talk to me and hang out with me all the time. I have no time for you. And you.
Here's the thing, right? No one ever wants to come to my house. They always want me to go out to meet them somewhere, and it's usually a 40-minute drive. That's the issue. No one ever wants to pay for gas. I love being at college because everything is like within a 10-minute walk of itself, and so I don't have to buy gas and spend 40 minutes traveling just to get somewhere, and then stay there for a few hours and socialize, and then come back. Like... That's the issue. A lot of my time is eaten up by traveling.
Well, I mean, I guess it's better than Chaos Eve's hypocritical brag that she's perfected herself. Weebs never has time for me either, says the woman who never comes into voice chat anymore, never responds to DMs anymore, never has time for anyone anymore. But it's nice.
I have time for you, Eve. That's not fair. Actually, the last time that I had time to just hang out with Eve by herself, I think it was fall break when I was making the thumbnail for our cocktail hour show.
Oh, really?
We spent like 3 hours talking to each other, and then I made alcoholic hot chocolate, and I watched... God, what did I watch? Was it Solomon Kane? Yeah, I watched Solomon Kane with Daphne, and I just kind of sat there in the middle of the cabin in the woods in the middle of nowhere. It was a good time. I like doing that. I like being isolated from everybody. I have an antisocial streak about me. Does that make sense?
Number One Nowhere says, when was the last comic book curation? An interested audience would like to know. You know what? It's been a minute. I can actually answer that. How long ago was
7 days, I think.
No. It's been more than 7 days.
Has it really?
Yeah. I have my what do you call this here? Creator Studio open right now. Let me just let it load and I'll see. God, look at all the copyright claims on my fucking
copyright claims?
Holy shit. The last one was December 12th.
Oh, what? How did that happen? Polly. It's been a month. Polly, get on that. Come on.
I didn't think anyone would notice.
Wait, there are updates on Eve's dating life? What happened? How long have I been gone? How many centuries have passed? At least 2 weeks without a CBC. A month. Shh. Oh. Weebo, did you need to get shots to go to Paris so you do not bring anything back? Get shots to go to... Oh, no, I did not, actually. I think it's pretty uniform across the board with regards to Paris. I'm fine. I didn't need to go to the doctor or anything, unless I missed that memo, in which case, oopsies. Polly.
Yeah.
Are you still alive?
Yeah, I was just looking at all... Jesus Christ, this one video has 7 copyright claims on it.
How did that happen, Polly? What are you doing wrong?
There's so many claims, and they're all by the same bot. Epidemic Sound. Fuck you.
Well, are you using something?
It's it's the background music that plays. It's like slow bluesy club late night jazz that kind of plays in the background because it's Noir Bar, right?
Yeah.
It's the melody that's triggering the bots because it came from excuse me, a royalty free site. But if they start playing some old song and the person that they did that this bot is working on behalf of, Epidemic Sound, for example, if they produced a cover of that very same song, the bot runs around and claims everybody who made a cover of that song, and then it's up to you to dispute it.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, of course it's bullshit. It's a cheap scam to make money. It's a fucking racket.
Sue them.
Well, it's a good thing that nobody watches my videos, or I might get pissed.
Nervous laughter. Oh, Ryan Walters says, don't get taken in France. You know what's funny? That was a topic of conversation yesterday morning, right as I'm about to leave. My stepmom's daughter comes over with her kids, and we're having a conversation. We're talking about me going to Paris, and she's like, oh, yeah, make sure you watch Taken before you leave to go to Paris. My dad had said the same thing to me, not like the week before I left to go to Greece a few years ago, too. So apparently, they're all thinking I'm gonna get kidnapped while traveling abroad. Like, thanks. Should I take that as a compliment?
Yeah, usually people are worried about. I mean, you're not going to Mexico.
No, I'm not going to Mexico.
But then again, you are flying to the European Caliphate, or one of them anyway. So
I don't think it's necessarily that bad, though. I've not been there, so I don't know. So people exaggerate things all the time. The news exaggerates things all the time because that's what sells, right? That's what people like to see is shit going to shit or the world going to hell.
Shit going to shit.
That's what people like to see. That's what sells news-wise, right? So it could be grossly over-exaggerated for all I know. Until I actually see it, I don't know how bad it is. And it could be just a whole bunch of bullshit. Plus, Taken is a freaking movie that was designed to be your worst fears realized.
What, Taken, the Liam Neeson old man pretending to be an action star movie?
Yeah. Weebo, is your dad Liam Neeson? No, my dad would not go on a crusade throughout all of Europe to find me. I asked him this point blank, and he's like, yeah, no, you're on your own, kid. Gee, thanks, Dad. I got my own shit to worry about, Weebo, back here at home. I mean, these windows, they're not going to stain themselves. I jest, they're already stained. He does have the rest of the upstairs to paint, so that would massively inconvenience him if I got kidnapped. So we're not gonna.
It would inconvenience him. That's
my daughter's been what? No, but you know who would come looking for me in the middle of Europe and go on a crusade? Boyfriend. So I have that to fall back on. You know, because you put so much time and money investing in this relationship, so of course you're going to make sure that that doesn't go to shit as well because your girlfriend's been kidnapped a continent or an ocean away. It only makes sense.
It's the money. That's what you think his problem is?
No. No, he loves me. Not that my dad doesn't, but it's very different. I'm not making anyone sound good in this. Oh, just, keep digging that hole, Weebo. Keep digging that hole. How does one stain windows? Well, you get windows installed that have like a wooden trim around the edge, and that would be what you stain. Also, Eve has also invested a lot of money in me as well, so I believe Eve would also come and find me if I got kidnapped. Hopefully, right, Eve? Would you please say yes? Escargo. Thank you, still do. I appreciate that. Mm. But yeah, I'm not worried about getting kidnapped while abroad.
No, not at all.
Who needs Liam Neeson when you have Fortunatus? No, I'm not, because I have all of you guys. So if I get kidnapped, I'll just live stream the whole thing, and then you guys will find the kidnappers based off of like a hair follicle that they left at the scene or whatever. I don't know. Did you ever watch Internet Historians like documentation on the He Will Not Divide Us flag? It's like a 4 or 5 part series on Shia LaBeouf's whole escapade that got kickstarted afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, I did.
I tried showing that to people last year, the Internet Historian channel just itself, but specifically that documentary style funny film flick, whatever it is you want to call it. I tried showing it specifically to Balik, and he did not find it as amusing as I did, which was a damn shame because he's all about them memes, but apparently not.
Well, why of all things would he not find Shia LaBeouf getting fucked with to be funny?
I don't know. That's why I thought I was so surprised when he just wasn't amused. But you know, Magnus Pater was there right next to him, and Magnus Pater don't take no silly shit. So maybe he was playing it up for Magnus Pater, who was another housemate that we nicknamed Magnus Pater, which is Latin for Big Daddy.
Okay. That story was a little not lucid, but okay.
It made sense if you are drunk.
Again, you got to stop with the dessert wine.
It's really good. It's all pink and shit. Look at that. Look at that, Polly. It's pink. It's pretty. This glass is dirty, but it's pink.
What kind of wine is it exactly? What varietal?
It's a 2008 California rose from the Cupcake Vineyards.
Sounds like a dessert wine from the Cupcake Vineyards.
Well, no, the Cupcake Vineyards actually they make more than just dessert wine. I had a red from them as well that I didn't quite enjoy as much, but that's okay. Balik secretly heads the local Shia LaBeouf fan clubs in your state. Yeah, that makes sense. Assassin of the Grey says that totally makes sense. Lion Patriot, my faith in Balik has been questioned. You know, I'm so lonely because Balik is not here right now, and I'm here right now. We're separated by like an hour's worth of drive time. What am I going to do without my partner in crime? This is a damn shame.
Well, that was very insulting, but I'm going to continue on anyway.
No. You're my co-host, not my partner in crime. There's a difference, Polly.
Well, it's very well.
Balik and I have explored this campus from top to bottom, finding the little niche cracks and whatnot that make it intriguing. We've been to the laser basement room, all right? And we've also been to the tippy top of the freaking tower of the college where there's barely any air and a freaking random just alcove for studying.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not had that experience. We've talked drunkenly about all manner of things, which is a different kind of bond. Still just as strong though, Polly.
One of the things that was funny at the last campus I was at, in terms of nooks and crannies, it's made me think of it when you said that.
Yes.
All of the nooks and crannies around that campus had either had a light installed in them or were cemented off. We came to affectionately know them as the rape holes.
What?
Yeah, and that's why they all had super bright LED lights installed in them that were behind big, thick, bulletproof plastic screens so you couldn't shatter them, like break the light. Or it was literally just cemented off. So the spaces that are underneath cement stairs, for example, are either cemented off or there's a light so bright back there you could use it as a fucking landing strip.
Okay.
And it was all because of the complaints that someone might get raped there. Oh, sexual assault occur there. So we called them the rape holes.
Might get raped, not that it was like the rape capital of the universe.
No, absolutely not. Like it was there were like what rapes? Like no, there were none. But the point is, well, I'm sure there were some, but like there's some rapes, and you name the city, rapes are occurring there. There's also muggings and knifings and all sorts of altruistic generosity. There's all sorts of things wherever humans get together. But imagine going to a university committee meeting, be it comprised of faculty members or comprised of a student body or both, and tell them, oh, well, we want you to spend all this money on this thing that we are arguing is going to prevent rape. I don't know if we need to spend that money. What are you, a rape supporter? Okay, we'll spend the money.
That's one of those things that you can't win, can you?
No. All you just have to put. We want you to spend some money on this thing that we think is going to help support the LGBT POC community. Well, I'm not really sure if it's good. What are you, some kind of bigot? No. Here's the money.
Well, no. All you should do is ask specifically, how exactly does this improve the LGBT community? And if they can't come up with like a sound, this is exactly how it's been proven time and time again, reason, then you're just like, sorry.
That was cute. You're such a naive summer child. It's.
I have no problem saying no to people, Holly. That is the mom in me speaking. All right. Let me tell you.
They don't want to hear your white privilege talk about blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Of course not. But you know what? Sucks to suck. If you want money from people, you have to give them a good enough reason to believe that you deserve it.
Are you kidding me? You know how much funding intersectional departments or interdisciplinary departments and producing every manner of fuckery scholarship exists, that kind of the thousands and thousands of dollars of stretched thin as fuck faculty funding goes to them?
Unfortunately,
and it's like, what are they doing? What are they producing that's of any kind of worth except to keep them going? It's a perpetual self-licking ice cream cone. We're here. Why? Because we're needed. Why? Because we're here. Like, it just.
Polly, I know there is a diversity center on this campus with a single like 2 by 8 foot room that is just specifically, singularly, a hair salon space for women of color to have their hair done.
Ah.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Do you guys have social justice commissars?
What?
That's what I jokingly call them, and a bunch of people jokingly call them around campus in hushed tones. You never say that shit out loud. But they're like diversity and inclusion officers is often the name, or bigot or bias interdiction officers. Sometimes they're called
the bias incident team.
Oh, you have a bias incident team? Nice.
They do bias incident investigations at least once a month, whenever it is that we have a quote unquote bias incident.
Right.
That can be weird.
Do they go around campus and place notices? Like, do they actually like roll around and, I don't know, this poster is kind of displaying a POC in a less than blah 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 situation?
So they send out emails and updates on bias incidences, and then they have resources for people who need the bias incident team to talk to them about stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
And not so much policing as there are reactionary to whatever it is that's going on in campus.
Sure. Do you know how much our fees went up related to healthcare there, specifically because of how many counselors they had to hire? Because part of the interdiction team for diversity, inclusion, and bias prevention, like you said, they're reactionary. Of course they are. It's showing up after the fact and saying, well, somebody went and complained, and so they came in there, and what's the biggest thing that they can offer? It's always counseling. And so they had to hire a fuck ton of counselors to support this massive, like, oh, somebody did something that you took to be offensive because you're LGBT POC or a woman, you're anything other than a straight male, so you complain. So there's all this like 10 free sessions of counseling that they're billing out at $150 an hour. And so the rest of the students have to subsidize all of that's going on. Thus, everybody's healthcare fees spiked through the fucking roof the year they introduced that interdiction team.
Well, they didn't come out and explicitly say, hey, yes, we're introducing a whole bunch of counseling to the student body and y'all paying for it out of pocket. So much as they introduced a healthcare payment plan that you had to like go out of your way to opt out of. So it's like health insurance through the college that you had to opt out of, but that they still charged you for the first payment of this last semester. So not this one, but the one before, fall semester in 2019. And then they didn't charge you for like an extra grand the next payment period. So I think maybe that's how they finagled that. But they also raised tuition. So it went from 56 to at least 63,000 every year in the 3 years that I've been here, or the 3.5 years that I've been here, which is an increase. If you don't numbers very well, that's a steep increase.
There's no way that they would ever offer the option, my campus, for people to opt out, because everybody would opt out of it and the system would collapse in on itself. So it's mandatory.
Well, that's why they color it as healthcare rather than counseling support for that nonsense.
Absolutely. It's all wrapped up with your psychological treatment, healthcare treatment, like all of those things are all wrapped up together in one big bundle on purpose. So you can't opt out of specifics. You can opt out of the dental stuff because a lot of people are going to have separate dental health care that they're still covered by their parents or whatever their particular situation is.
Yeah. Well, I'm still covered by my dad. So I did opt out of it, and I'll, have that insurance until I'm 26 or until I get my own insurance through whatever company. And if it happens to be better, then yeah, sure, I'll take it. But currently I'm pretty well set. I'm not complaining. And so I don't need it, which is why I opted out of it. But I still got charged. So did my cousin too, because he also goes here. And that was annoying to deal with, because I came down, or my dad calls up to me in my room one day during the summer. He's like, Weebo, can you come down here? I need your help. And he points out the bill and payment plan for the next semester. And he's like, why is it so goddamn high compared to other semesters? And I'm like, well, first off, the difference is found in the fact that I'm not buying and making my own food this semester. And also the fact that I'm going to Paris in, J term. But there's also this other charge here that doesn't make sense, and that's the charge for health insurance that I opted out of like 2 months ago. So I don't know what that's about. So I had to call them and be like, can you explain, please, bitch? What's this about? I thought I opted out of it. I got the email and everything confirming that. And my cousin also got the same thing. And they're like, oh, yeah, so we just charged you anyway, and then we're going to knock it off of your next payment. I'm just like, bitch! That's underhanded. That's a little bit sketchy. That's because, okay, in the grand scheme of things, the charge wouldn't have mattered anyway because they're taking it off for that next payment. But you can't look at things in the grand scheme of things when it comes to people making that expensive payment, because if it's just completely random and you don't expect it, you have to shell out that amount of money at that point in order to actually attend the college. And it's not an expense that you were aware was going to be there. You didn't plan for it or anything. You didn't make plans to actually have to do that. Yeah, it's going to fuck you over. You're going to have to reassess some funds, pick from savings maybe. I don't know. But yeah, you can't just do that unannounced like it's not a big deal, because it is a big deal for people. Not everyone has just a certain amount of money just set aside like, oh, I have $9 grand sitting in this pocket over here just in case. Not everyone has that. So it is scummy to do. And so I'm a little bit salty still about the school doing that. Deduct interest from it on the next payment. I told my dad about that, and he's just like, all right, I'll deal with it, because he managed. My dad always comes through, always pulls through. He's a good boy like that. Go dad. And I also managed to shuffle around some funds, so my work study no longer goes directly into my account. It goes directly into
excuse me, Jesus. Yeah, sorry, that snuck up on me. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, so I managed to also supplement that extra expense that was unexpected. So, And Assassin's Creed, contact your bank about that. See, it wasn't like it was just being pulled out of the funds. It was just a payment that was due, and it was due in that amount. Otherwise, I don't get to be a part of the university for that semester. So either way, it's like, do you want to graduate on time? If you want to graduate on time, shill out this amount of money. And it was like, oh God.
Yeah. That happened when I was down to the wire. So when you have a master's thesis, you have to, there's some, you'll find out when you go to maybe submit your, are you going to see your thesis for your bachelor's? Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah, I submitted my thesis for my bachelor's. I already did that, so I should get it back within the next week, all bound and nice. I got an 89% on it, which is a really nice compliment because the lady that graded it is a stickler when it comes to writing, and so that's a hefty compliment. The fact that I almost scored an A, thank you.
The thing I was thinking about was when I was going to submit mine, there's a very particular procedure for it, right? And it has to be submitted to the library so they can put it in their archives and all that other stuff, because technically that university has the copyright privilege on it. You know what I mean? The publication copyright.
Uh-huh.
And so anyway, that's part of the process, and that's why they all have the same cover letter and or cover page that you just fill in the blanks of your particular name and title and so forth.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I was going to submit it, I got hit up on the electronic system where it's, you know, how they disallow you access to certain systems if you have outstanding fees or debts that you haven't paid. I had a $5 charge over at the library, and because of a whole bunch of rigmarole that I won't take you through describing, I had finished thesis. I had done my oral defense. I had done the super minor amount of edits that the research committee had deemed necessary before it could be submitted and approved. So I had finished that, and then I was doing some final touches up on it, but they were just purely copy. It was just purely formatting changes. None of the words were changing. I just wanted to change the font on all of the headers and different shit like that. And so it was like last minute that I was getting it done. I had to run over to the fucking library, and I ran because this was down to like 5 p.m. close of business deadline. And I was submitting it electronically, and it's like, there's a hold on this. So over to the particular student center where they have the, where they can look up who put the hold, what department or whatever the fuck. And it's like, the library put a hold. You must have outstanding fees over at the library. So I hightailed it because I don't have any cash on me. I had to pay it on credit card. I'm like, what? I still don't even know what that $5 was for. I mean, it pissed me off.
Did you have like outstanding printer fees or something?
No, because you have to fill up a card. They don't allow you to run into debt at that campus. They didn't allow you to run up debt on printing or scanning fees. You had to put money on a card in a credit fashion. So you had a positive credit all the time. And then when you ran out, and that was it for you.
That is weird.
Yeah. So it was a late fee or whatever the fuck, a service fee that they had charged me. I had brought in like, oh my God, so many dozens of books for research in my last few months there for that thesis and for a conference paper that I was writing with the library exchange system.
Yeah.
And sometimes I felt really guilty about it. It's like, yeah, I could use this book. So they bring it in from whatever university library they need to. It came from fucking Hawaii. One of them had like the stamp on it and the sticker on the back. It's like, you had this flown in from Hawaii? I didn't need it that bad. I thought you were going to be bringing it from like a state over it the most, man. Not from fucking the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Well, that's what I like about universities and their libraries. They are so willing to like go all out for your research.
Yeah, no
if
shit.
you read an article, they will go ahead and they will just get on ordering that. And yeah, they say it's complimentary through the university, so I don't have to actually pay for anything. But I pay tuition, so yes, I do. In order to have access to all of this interlibrary loaning, whatever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. All right, here's the catcher. So Balick is an archaeologist. His project for his thesis is he's doing a site that he dug in, I think it was not Bolivia, Bulgaria. It was Bulgaria. It was an underwater site, and he wanted to do his thesis on the site itself. Well, all of the sources for the site are all in a foreign language, and all of the information and all of the sources are across seas at these places where all of the reports are in a foreign language. So if he wants to actually do any substantial research on the site itself and write about it in any historical accurate sense, he first has to like find someone to translate it, transport it here on his own, because the interlibrary loan system for colleges only exists within the United States, apparently. It does not extend overseas to other countries or what have you, and I didn't know this. So I feel particularly lucky that I did not pick archaeology, because archaeology is like not dead, but it's not as extensive in the States as it is across seas. But yeah, he's got to do this all by himself if he actually wants a modicum of historical accuracy or historical whatever. And all of them are in Slavic or some Slavic language. That is a damn shame. He was telling me about this the last night that we were here, actually. I'm just like, oh, you poor thing. But he's got an entire semester to look forward to doing all that nonsense, so he'd be gooch. Balak needs to pick another thing. Well, it's a little bit late for that. You know, it's funny.
Can you imagine being at the universities and still make you pick a cognate field?
A cognate field?
Yeah, it's a third major. Like you have a major and a minor and a cognate.
I have 2 majors.
Do you?
Yeah. I did that because I wanted to.
I mean at like the at like the graduate level, at the doctoral level.
Yeah.
Like you have to pick a major and a minor field of study, where when you go into your comprehensive exams, that you have a major and a minor field, and they're going to grill you more on the major field than the minor field for your comp exams in your doctoral process. And some universities still hold on to the old one of you need a third one, a cognate field that somehow joins the two or relates to the two somehow. Yeah. And it's like, really? 3 fields of study? 2 was painful enough for me. Thank you.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I didn't even have to do a comprehensive exam for psychology in order to major in it. I just had to do the thesis. And then take the...
Well, you never do an undergrad. This is for a doctorate program.
Well, they used to have us take a comprehensive exam of psychology, and then they stopped.
Really?
Because
shitty.
That on top of the thesis was just too much for people, I guess. Which I can see, because studying for a comprehensive exam while you're doing your thesis, while you're taking all of your other classes, because you also have to take 2 labs, plus research methods and statistics, in addition to like the base 100 level classes. So intro, developmental, social, abnormal, maybe abnormal, but another one. But you do have to take at least
excuse me, Jesus, again.
10 to 11 classes in order to complete your major, in addition to senior thesis, I think. No. It was 10 classes, including senior thesis. And then if you wanted to, you also have to take all of the classes that qualify you to graduate. And then because I'm taking a class, because I'm taking, or no, not because I'm taking, but because I'm graduating with double majors, I have to take 11 classes in the second major as well, in addition to an allied course. So in total, to graduate with both of my majors, I have to take 21 classes. And then every class that I still also need to take in order to graduate, which is a ridiculous amount. So I will end up graduating with at least 34, 36 different credits. And the way that my university does it is like a credit is a class. And so there are half credits, there are whole credits, it's a whole bunch of nonsense. I could take you through it, but it would take me forever. Wait, why are we deleting stuff? What happened?
Ugh. Oh man, it's still stuffed up.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
So how is it that you're able to leave the beginning of your program or semester?
Huh?
That's already started in 2 weeks, and it's not going to be a problem. Like, are you?
So my school does this thing where it has a semester and then it has J term for a month, and then it has the second semester, and then it has May term for a month. And during May and J terms, so May is a month-long thing that you could do, and J is a month-long thing that you could opt into. You don't have to do anything, but you have to take 2 May or J terms wherein you're filling them with a class on campus, an internship, a study abroad, or an extended study. And this is basically just to kind of help us along in terms of the extra credits that we have to take. So global learning credits, or maybe an internship that you want to fulfill. One of my J terms actually was spent interning with my local police department for a month. Although it didn't count for whatever reason.
Right. I remember that.
I didn't get it in enough time, and no one told me that I had to clear it with anybody. But yeah, so retrospectively, I couldn't fix it so that it counted. But I did do that, and it was a lot of fun, and I got a heck of a letter of recommendation for it. But nothing came of that because I didn't end up getting the FBI internship. But in addition to that, I've taken Mastering C++ as another J term, and I've taken, let's see. Oh, it was a martial arts intensive as a J term. And then for a May term, I've only done one, and that was the trip to Greece. And so this is another J term that I'm doing. In order to fill my global learning credit, which you need one whole thing of in order to graduate, I'm going to Paris. It also helps with the studying abroad nonsense, because they also have an extended study abroad study credit that you have to fulfill as well. So if you don't go out of the country, or at least study somewhere other than at this school, you don't graduate.
No shit.
So you have to. You have to, absolutely. So it's a nice way for me to finagle myself into being able to travel while I'm going to college. Be like, Dad, I have to go to Paris, Dad. You see, it's in order to graduate, which you want me to do, right?
Wait a minute, you have to study abroad. But what are you studying? The catacombs?
No, I am studying the French Revolution.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. look at that fake ass smile she's got. I love it. It's like, that's what I was doing. Yeah.
No, okay, I guessed, but I just got the syllabus 2 days ago, and my professor doesn't seem like she's the type to actually let us slack off while we're studying abroad. Unlike the Greek trip, it's not going to be just a touristy type of thing where we're just listening to a guy give us information on and on and on, then go and have wine for dinner, complimentary wine for dinner every night, which was really nice. No, unlike the Greece trip, we're not going on a cruise and getting drunk every night. No, the French trip, the Paris trip, is going to be a little bit more. You have to write about the things that you see out there because it's important, and you have to visit these sites. And I actually have like a few days where I have to go and independently look at sites by myself. And so I'm a little bit scared to traverse through all of Paris by my little lonesome, because there are specific occasions where I have to do that.
You're going to be walking through no-go Sharia zones to study the French Revolution. That's going to be a neat trick.
Mm-hmm. Study French wines. Yes, Jolanda, that's exactly what I will be doing. My goal is to smuggle another bottle of wine back into America. Because I did that when I left Greece. I had a nice bottle of wine in my carry-on bag, and they never caught it for whatever reason, or they just didn't care enough to.
Airport security.
Yay! It was a good bottle of wine too. I got it for like €2, and it was in Greek. It's nice. But it is a little bit more intensive, so it's not going to be as fun as the Greek trip. Because the Greek trip, I did not expect that to be as enjoyable as it was, because it was 1 week of just traveling around from area to area within mainland Greece and seeing all of the archaeology sites. And then it was another week of, you're going to spend this week on a cruise ship traversing the Aegean and looking at the different sites. And we had an all-you-could-drink package, and it was a great time.
Nice.
It was a good time. It was a very good time. Thank you to the Golden Age Radio for donating over in the Streamlabs. If you're doing the archaeologist thing, does that mean that we should expect to see you at the History Channel at some point? We know you have the looks for TV. I do have the looks for TV, as you can tell, by being, someone who is a personality on the internet. But I don't know if I have the proper decorum for online personality or for TV personality.
Weebo's not saying the French Revolution was started by aliens, but it was aliens.
It was aliens.
That'll be you on the History Channel.
Totally, 100% sure.
Yeah, just do your hair out big and crazy and say stupid shit about alien astronauts, and you're there.
Beware of African panhandlers. They are aggressive. I do recall there were a few of them in Greece that I and my walking buddy had to kind of 1-2 off of us because they were really aggressive with the, not the panhandling, but they really wanted to sell us fake Gucci purses. I'm like, sir, can you not see I already have a purse? But it's not Gucci. Oh, but it's fine. I don't need a Gucci purse. Please leave. Weebo, no joke, get someone you trust to walk with you in Paris. I'll probably end up sticking with my roommate because we are going to have like roommates that we have to stick with or roommate with at the hotel. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know who it is I'm sleeping with. I just realized
that was an odd word choice, but okay.
Well, because we're in the same room. I hope that it's twin bed situation where like each of us get our own separate bed.
Sure.
But on the Greece trip, that was not the case all the time. So I don't know. I could be sleeping in the same bed as someone. They're going to be a woman. I know that to be a fact, unless they're a transgender female to male or whatever, in which case they're still a woman, but not really. Oh, this is going to be interesting to explain to boyfriend. Hi, boyfriend. I don't know who it is I'm sleeping with on this trip. What?
See, I'm thinking. I still think The Departed is the best film for you to watch, but I mean, a lot of people took umbrage with that. I mean, I don't care. I think it's fucking, like I said, best film in the past 15 years.
Well, okay, so if it's not The Departed and you want to give me something else, give me a selection of movies that I should watch that I haven't seen yet, and we can.
Because I'm thinking. Well, I mean, homework don't work that way. You don't get to choose.
It does in some cases, depending on the professor.
Well, okay, the assignment is chosen, but then I guess you can like pick questions like that you're gonna write. Whatever research question you can choose from, like one of 3 kind of thing. I guess you could do that.
You can watch a movie, but the assignment could be watch one of these select movies. Because I've had professors that assigned, oh, you're gonna write me an essay, but it's gonna be on one of the following topics.
All right, see you later, your boy Pat.
Hi, Pat.
I don't get to stream with Pat anymore. Kind of what's that, Weeps?
Ryan Walters.
Yeah, so have I. Good film.
It is.
Good film. Because I got the feeling you haven't seen a lot of good stuff. I get the feeling you've seen a lot of films, just not a lot of good ones.
Wow. Dang. You've seen a lot of films, but not good ones.
And ones that obviously I'm meaning, like films that would be like
at my tastes.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like ones that are like absolute classics to me. Like now Casablanca is like an objective classic. Mm-hmm. That's different.
I've seen.
Like, you ever seen Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now? No, I've not.
No. I'm trying to think of a movie that you've actually seen, that I've seen, that we both like, that could be discussed in detail. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
But you can't discuss it in detail? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no, I wouldn't be able to discuss it in detail. I basically watched, my ex-girlfriend was really, really into Lord of the Rings. And so I watched all 3 of them, one each night in a row for 3 nights. And I didn't think it was wasted time, and I had to bug her constantly with like, "Hey, why is this guy doing this?" Because like, I don't know, she'd seen him like a fuck ton of times, so it was good that she was there. But no offense to anyone, I just don't feel the need to watch them again. So it's kind of on that level. I enjoyed them enough. I thought they were okay, but I don't really feel the need to see them again. So that's where I'm at with Lord of the Rings.
A good rule of thumb with Weebo is if it's fantasy adjacent, I've probably seen it. I'm really big into fantasy stuff. Like,
have you seen either one of the stop motion classics of fantasy, the Greek mythology ones? So Clash of the Titans or Jason and the Argonauts?
I've seen Clash of the Titans, yes. I think
the original
owned it on DVD for a while when I lived with my mother. Yeah, she had it. It was the original Clash of the Titans, with the really freaky looking Medusa thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's got a very dated look to it, but a fucking charm to it. You know what I mean? For the way it looked and the style. And Harry Hamlin, I think, is the main actor's name, plays Perseus.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching the remake of it, which I've seen twice. The oh fuck, you know the new one, newer one.
I've seen it. I've seen that, and I've seen Wrath of the Titans.
Right.
By the way, it's like a one-hit wonder. You know, like you can only watch it once.
Yeah.
Because you know the story.
Well, yeah, and it's just, I don't know. It was kind of more like a giant modern take on it. It didn't have any of the dated charm of the original, and it was good enough as an action film, and it was fun to see. Sort of, I would have liked if they did more stuff on Olympus. They made Mount Olympus and where the gods were hanging out look real cool. There was a lot more of it in the original than there was in the remake of it. The best thing about it was what's her name, the actress who played Io.
Yeah,
she was hot.
Ooh. Okay, all right. You ever see? Okay, you've seen Troy, right? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Did you like it?
My nose here because I'm all stuffed up. Sorry. Did I like it? I wouldn't go that far. I thought it was okay. It seemed very modern, if you know what I mean. It had that
modern
polish to it.
Relating to a more modern audience, certainly. But I mean, like, that's the only way you can really sell that kind of a thing. But it depends on who you ask. If you ask an archaeologist or someone who is a classical archaeologist or someone who is really into the classics themselves, they will absolutely hate it, with one exception. And that is the scene between, oh God, what's his name? The dad of Hector. What's his face? Oh God.
Agamemnon?
No, not Agamemnon. The dad of Hector. He's the king of Troy. Oh God, it starts with a P. It's not Patroclus. No, it's not Paris. That's Hector's brother. He's the whole reason why they're at war. Oh God.
No, isn't it? No, not Paris. Isn't the guy who took out Achilles? Isn't it Pyrrhus? Pyrrhus?
No, I need to double check. Oh God. Troy characters.
P. It's Gemma Alteraton. Yeah, I remember her name was Gemma. But yeah, oh dude, she's so high, Pete. She played Strawberry Fields in Quantum of Solace, the second Daniel Craig Bond film.
Priam.
Oh man,
It's King Priam. So he's the scene between Achilles and Priam, where they're discussing, because Achilles had just killed Hector, right? Spoiler alert, by the way, Hector dies. So and Troy falls.
Yeah, the Iliad. That's not fucking 3,500 years old or anything.
Thank you, Advocates Diaboli. Yeah, no, it's the scene between Achilles and Priam. Achilles had just killed Hector, brought his body back to the Greek camp where it is that they had arranged and set up things, and where it was that Achilles had like his tent or whatever. And Priam shows up in the middle of the night, and he's like begging for his son's body so that he can bury him properly, because it's a very important thing that the dead get buried properly in ancient Greece, or just during this time within the Aegean, because if you don't get buried properly, you don't move on to the afterlife, and you're just basically stuck in limbo. So it's a very big deal. And this scene is so well done. It's probably the best rendition of, emotionally, like what you would expect of this to be. It's very well done. Very, very well done. I give them so many props. But the rest of the movie is absolutely shit from a classical perspective. However, you look at it from like a noob perspective, because I did watch it before I was super into the classics, and then I watched it again afterwards, and I'm like, oh wow, what a difference. But if you watch it from a noob's perspective, it's decent to all right, depending on how anal you are about details and story arc and characters and movies and whatnot. So yeah, that one exception would be that scene. It could have been done better, though. I will say that. If you don't get buried properly, people get sick. Well, it's not just sick, it's because if you think about it, the ancient Greeks believed that you had to pay the ferryman in order to get to Hades. And so if you didn't pay the ferryman, if you didn't get buried properly, you wouldn't be given a chance to live on in the afterlife. And so you're kind of stuck. You're kind of fucked. It's a bad time all around.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to fix that, they would put coins on the eyes of the dead so that they could pay the ferryman. I think it was Charon or Chiron? Can't pronounce it. But you'd have to pay the ferryman in order to get across the river Styx, in order to be buried properly, in order to move on, to move to the afterlife. I love mythology so much. I remember studying the Odyssey. We never quite got to the Iliad within my classics class, but I also remember studying in part, not as extensively, the Iliad as well. Although I would like to read that a little bit more in depth.
We never ended up getting to it. You kind of read them out of order. You kind of read them out of order.
Yes and no.
Well,
you can read things within the cycle in such a way that it doesn't matter what order you read them in, because they are stories isolated of each other, right? So the Odyssey is a story of how hubris...
Well, it kind of ruins it. I mean, you definitely know Odysseus doesn't die.
Well, you do. But, like, he's the only one. It doesn't take away from the Iliad at all. And then, of course, you go to Iliad, Odyssey. What is it called? Oh, God. What's the third one? Dante. The Aeneid? The Aeneid, which is written a substantially long time after the Odyssey would have been written, and not by Homer, by the way. You can read all of them out of order because, like, everyone knows how the story of Troy and what happened after that. Troy fell, obviously. Everyone knows the Trojan horse was a thing, but the intimate details that occurred during that and what happened and what happened afterwards, they're a little bit more nuanced. No one knows what happens within the Odyssey except people who've read the Odyssey because it's not as popular. But the Iliad, yeah, certainly everyone knows Troy falls, but it's different. But the Iliad is a story of Achilles' wrath. The Odyssey is a story of Odysseus's hubris, I guess you could say. Not hubris, but like him being Odysseus. And then, well, I'm not sure about the Aeneid so much. What is that the story of, would you say? Like, sum it down to like 5 words or less or more.
What, the Iliad?
Yeah. No. The Aeneid.
5 words or less? You got me. I can't do that.
Yeah, like what is
I couldn't do Odysseus or the Odyssey or the Iliad in 5 words, so.
Oh, Chiron was the center. Charon was the ferryman. Thank you. But yeah, mythology is such a good time. Ebola of Troy. Sorry, I've just taken us off on a whole tangent. I don't even remember how we got here. Polly, help me.
I was just naming classic movies that I was wondering what you've seen and haven't seen. That's
true.
All.
And then I named Troy, and you're like, it was all right. And then I went off on a whole tangent. You gotta stop me if I do that.
No, you're asking me if I had seen Lord of the Rings, and you said anything that's fantasy or fantasy adjacent. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, what is the last fantasy adjacent or fantasy film that I've seen? And I thought, oh, it would have been Clash of the Titans, like 1950, 60, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, I watched that like middle of December because it's awesome. I've seen that so many times.
But you see what you did wrong was you got me all excited about mythology. And I could go on forever about it.
Whoops.
Oopsie daisy.
Like I said, you really should grab a copy of HBO's Rome, the seasons 1 and 2.
I
You
know.
dig it.
You know what's funny? Boyfriend and I were doing another really, really domestic thing within the last week. We were talking about potential baby names. Not that I'm pregnant, all right? I'm not pregnant, but we were talking about names that we liked. And
Right.
I said specifically that I really liked the name Octavius, Octavian, or Octavia, something that had to do with that. And he was just super salty about it because boyfriend's Greek, and he doesn't want our child to have a Roman name.
Nice.
That automatically nixed like half of the baby names that I had. I also can't name our child Nikolai, which I really like. But nope, he nixed that in the butthole, unfortunately. Name your son Oedipus. No, that's no for. Or no, Ryan Walters, I will not do that. Can't do that. Oh God. Although I was thinking after the fact, I said Andromeda sounds like a good name to name your child. Although I don't know. I had to ask him. Hey, boyfriend, does Andromeda sound like a good name? Here's the problem, though. Most of his family has already taken all of the good Greek names.
Go with the sexy Spartan queen's name, Gorgo. Everyone, the most unfeminine sounding name ever, Queen Gorgo. Every time I hear it, I can't help but think of Medusa as a gorgon. I mean, I know it's not the same thing, but it sounds pretty fucking close.
I can't even name my first child Alexander. That's also a damn shame. Because
the Macedonians were pussies.
I'll tell boyfriend you said that. Festivus Jones. What
I don't know. Go Egyptian. Greek Egyptian.
I don't think he would go for that though.
Why? They're Greek.
Egyptian. So like Cleopatra.
Anything from the Ptolemaic lineage, yeah.
Doesn't jump out to me as much.
Yeah, don't name your kid Ptolemy. That's pretentious.
Marry their siblings though, like.
Well, I guess. I mean, you're the one who made me watch a movie about cousins trying to marry each other.
That was a sub issue, and you know it.
I'm just saying.
No cousins married each other in that movie, Polly. The incest is not even present. Like, it's talked about, but it's not a thing that actually happens.
Oh, right? It was dangerously close to happening, and you know it.
No, it wasn't. Elizabeth was never going to marry Mr. Collins.
Well, she wanted to. It wasn't even about. Well, for the guy, what did he call himself? Not a minister, not a preacher. He was a deacon.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. He was trying to marry the older one first.
Yeah.
And then decided to settle for Elizabeth.
But still, like, it didn't come close. At all.
It came a proposal. That's pretty close.
Nah. I know it's technically Roman, but Diana Jones, if all Polydub says. Yeah, no, that's also taken. Romanove Jones. Oh, Ronove Jones. What? Ronove Jones?
Go with Nix.
Huh?
Go with Nix.
Nix?
NYX, Nix.
No, I want something that I can give the child a nickname with. I also really like the name Ilya, which is the Slavic version of Elijah, but I don't know.
You want your daughter to be a prophetess?
No, I feel like no, because you would name your son that. That's a boy Slavic name.
Ah, okay.
But I feel like the kid would get bullied.
All the names that you've named so far, the kid's going to get bullied. And besides, it doesn't really matter what the kid's name is. It's like, I know this one guy who named his son Strong. And it's like, you better hope so.
If he's not, you fucked. You fucked up real good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a good idea to get terribly creative with your kids' names. Creative, yes. Terribly creative? No, that's how you end up with reality winners in the world, you know?
Oh, jeez.
Remember Reality Winner?
No. I don't watch reality television. I prefer fantasy, remember?
No. That's a person's name. First name Reality, last name Winner.
No, I don't. What?
She was a national security contractor that was convicted for leaking a bunch of stuff to the press. The Orange Man bad type situation. Okay. And she got caught and convicted. And that's how everybody knew her name. And it's like, national security contractor, Reality Winner. And I'm like, what? So wait a minute. You're in prison as a convict serving time, and you're having to tell your fellow convicts that your name is Reality Winner? That's ironic. You don't look like you're winning.
Oof.
And that's bad. That's why you don't get too terribly creative with your kids' names.
I guess. Nike Jones, Nike is the goddess of victory. Maybe. But I don't. Nah. I'm not in love with it, And I'd have to be in love with it in order to name my child something like that. And I don't want to be as blatant as to name a child after one of the Greek pantheon. That's super obvious. And I can't name my child Spartacus because
no,
of obvious reasons. I just see my kid in 3rd grade be like, all right, I'm going to take attendance, kids. Spartacus Jones? I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus. Shut the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of self-fulfilling prophecies that are going to come to play there. You're going to name your kid Achilles and he's going to repeatedly break his ankle. I just don't do it.
What is a good name? Oh no, I couldn't do that because it's too Roman. I was going to say Ulysses, which is the Roman version of Odysseus, but no.
Why don't you just what's an option? Flip open the New Testament and go to Acts. They're all Greek names.
I don't want to name my child something in the Bible, though. Even though I said
no, just pick one of the less common ones, or
Abraham.
Yeah, less common ones. Theophius.
All right, what's another name?
I don't want to name my kid something from the Bible. That's where the majority of Western names come from. But fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
I mean, think about it. Peter, Paul. This is a long list of really common names that come out of the Bible. You make it sound like it's a horrible source. It's not. It's actually a pretty good one, it seems.
Well, okay. To be fair, my name is also directly from the Bible. My legit name, not Weebo. All right, my legit name.
There was a Weebo in the Bible. Where?
In case it was unclear. Yeah, no. My name came directly from the Bible. I don't want to do that. I want it to be unique, but I want it to be not something that is gonna get them bullied.
I'm trying to think common names in the Bible. Rebecca, you're fucking Becky, aren't you?
No.
You're a Becky.
Are you guessing my name? You'll never get it. I promise you this.
I'm just kind of hoping secretly that you're a Becky.
You're a Mary, aren't you? Fuck no. The Gospel of Weebo. That would be a great book. The Catholic Church definitely nixed that one out of the get-go. Fuck that noise. No, I'm not a Maria either. Well, now that I've said that, it really narrows down it's a very Hebrew name, I will say that. Even though my family's not Jewish.
No, there. It doesn't. Okay, yeah, technically you're right. It does narrow it down, but there are a fuck ton of women named in the Old Testament. Like if it's a Hebrew name, i.e., Old Testament. Let's say you just limit it to that. That's still a fuck ton of names.
Who the fuck said that it was a Hebrew name? For all you know, or a Hebrew female name. For all you know, it could be Isaac. I could be an Isaac. Polly.
Oh my God, it's Methuselah, isn't it? Methuselah Jones.
No, my name is not Jezebel. This is actually a fun game. Mohammed Jones.
You're just picking the most uncomplimentary names possible for a woman. Jebediah. I knew it.
How about Pericles? Nebuchadnezzar. Oh, yes. Let's name my first child Nebuchadnezzar.
Muhammad does not appear in the Bible, Pete. Jesus.
Bertha. Did you guys just Google biblical female names?
Is there a woman named Bethany, Joys of Sorrow? I mean, I know there's Mary of Bethany, but is there a woman named Bethany?
I don't know.
Nebuchadnezzar. That's it. Yeah, I could see that. All her friends just call her Nebby.
Dude, I could live with that. Nebuchadnezzar? That's a fucking heckin' of a name. That's got 2 Z's, not just 1 Z. 2 Z's.
Yeah, and it's a Nebuchadnezzar. Wow, that's a lot of claps.
Pete's got it. It's Jesus Jones. I'm sorry, no, we spell it with the accent, so it's Jesus. No, my name's not Abigail. You're never gonna get it. I promise you that. Promise you. Ruth. Oh God, no, my dad has an ex named Ruth.
Well, I doxed myself and nobody fucking believed me, so I'm safe. Hide in plain sight, I guess.
Did you?
Yeah, Rudiger Maximilian Dubbenstein.
Ah, fair. And you know what my name is on your Discord?
Yeah, I saw it, but I forget. It's
let's see. Rutabaga Minimillion Solo.
That's
my name. Don't wear it out. Lilith. Ooh, Advocatus Diaboli Lilith Jones. Yep, that's my name. Don't wear it out. Sarah. No, do I look like a Sarah? Do I look like, honestly, Polly, do I look like a Sarah?
I told you look like a Karen.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I want to talk to your RA.
Fresno Ford, Delilah Jones. No, but I do like that name.
Delilah?
Mm-hmm.
Not a great
Osmosis Jones. I don't think Osmosis was in the Bible.
For good fortune.
No, my name's not Rachel. Deborah. Nope, my name is not Deborah. This is a fun game. I like this. And it's not Heather either.
Is Heather from the Bible? I thought Heather was just the plant. Maybe they named the plant after the girl from the Bible, though. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so I say my name is direct from the Bible, and it is, but my dad actually got it from a road sign.
Nice.
Gee, thanks, Dad. He looked at me, right, as I was born, and he determined that my name would be based off of what it is that I look like. And so it was down to my actual name and Sabrina. That's what I would have been named. And so he says, yeah, she's definitely what it is that my actual name is instead of Sabrina. But imagine me as a Sabrina. Do I look like a Sabrina to you?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Mm-hmm. Although it would have been cool if I was named Sabrina, because the nickname that you can use with Sabrina is
No Left Turn Jones. Oh fuck.
Sabrina the Teenage Shit Poster. Weebo Jones. Yeah, no, that's funny. No, but like the nickname that you can have with Sabrina is Saber. All right, and that's a pretty badass nickname. I'm not gonna lie. Just be like Sabrina Jones. No, actually, I go by Saber now. Do you think people would actually take me seriously if I went by that?
No. Not unless you like work for like the Mary Sue or Everyday Feminism or something, where you could call yourself Doorstop and people would accept it because they're nuts.
A doorstop. Doorstop Jones.
Like they're nuts over there, man. I mean, one of the writers is named Princess Weeks. I mean,
what?
Yeah.
Oh my
dad.
Mary
Sue?
I do go by a nickname in everyday life. Actually, that's the funny bit. I've gone by a few nicknames in my time because my name has that ability, and as a result, my dad absolutely hates it. Like, you're not this. Your full name is this. And then he goes off on all of the syllables. He uses all of them, of which there are quite a lot.
Are you one of those people with 2 middle names or 3 or 4? No?
I have 1 middle name, but it's about as long as my first name.
Ah.
And so it's many letters. Ugh.
Yeah, my my future wife can be I've decided it's like, okay, you can go ahead and pick the first name, but I get to pick like the middle 3 names.
The middle 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be bad if I named my child after myself?
Yes.
Why?
This is dumb.
All right, baby Weebo.
Yeah, baby. Oh yeah, Weebo Jr.
What if I actually named my child Weebo?
As a first name or a middle name?
As a first name.
That'd be a bad call. I'm gonna say that's a bad call.
It's a bad call.
Yeah.
I just counted in my head. Wait, hang on. Yeah, no, my entire name is about 8 syllables long. Like my full name. It's a lot of business.
That's a lot of syllables.
That's a lot of. I told you my name is really long. It's super long. I think I counted in one time the whole name itself was 31 letters, not included spaces.
Well, that's a little ornate, isn't it? No wonder you said the way you did about your dad's like, no, your name is blah, 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 blah. Come back 2 minutes later, he's still saying your name.
Yeah, and yes, Dad? Yeah, no. That's been a point of contention with my dad for as long as I've lived. He's always been a stickler for using my full name and not the nickname that I get. And I'm just like, I like my name. I wouldn't change it, but it's a bit long. And so we shorten it so that people don't have to put themselves through that nonsense. Pharaoh Jones.
Well, there you go. It gets to the Ptolemaic thing again.
That would be funny.
We're quarter past the hour, and I got to go make a phone call, and we're quarter past 2 hours.
Shit. How dire is your need to make a phone call?
Well, it's not dire yet, if that's what you're asking.
Can we do like until the half-hour mark?
Yes, we can.
That's a nice half number.
Remember, you're the one who wanted to go no longer than 90 minutes. That was your call.
Well, that was a loose call. So let's open it up to question time. And no, you can't answer what my actual name is. That's different questions, people. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see. I did tisk you, yes.
Why? What did I do?
Wait, is that like a particular hotspot for you?
No one's ever tisked me officially. I've always been the one that does the tisking, Polly. All right? So I'm a little bit salty right now.
I had no idea it was a nerve. Excuse me. Wow.
No one has ever tisked me in my life.
I don't
What?
believe that.
No, because we went over 90 minutes. Because you mind.
Golden Age Radio would like to know how often you shave your feet, Weebo.
I don't shave my feet. I don't need to. Therefore, never. So suck it.
No one's buying it. Hairy feet, Weebo.
Wait, no, hang on. I'm supposed to charge for that now. Get it? Because there are foot fetishists on the internet.
Oh yeah, there are, aren't there?
There are.
Bastards.
Danny Pullman asks, Weebo, will you go up in the Eiffel Tower? And yes, I will. We have an entire day apparently planned for that specific excursion. Which, all right, cool. I don't think it'll take an entire day, but you know what? I'm down for free time. I want to explore. The wine can keep flowing until the show ends. Ergo, the show must go on. Low-key, I might finish this glass of wine, this bottle of wine right here before the end of the show if I can do it in the next 15 minutes. If I get a dollar amount, I will drink all of it.
Let me see how much is in the bottle. Oh wow, that's good half.
Yeah, if I can get $50, no, you know what? $70 in the next half an hour, or sorry, 15 minutes. 14 minutes now at this point. I will drink all of that live. I'm not.
What the hell kind of fucking? That's a terrible dare to your audience, man. You got to get on some Sinatra level.
What for $50? I'll play horse
coaxing into donations. No, yeah, what you do is you hold the bottle and you say, "Look, half this bottle of wine's left. If somebody in the next 5 minutes hits me up with a $50 donation, I'll chug the whole thing without breathing."
Okay, no, hang on. All right, I got it. All right. Someone in the next 5 minutes donates $50 to both myself and Polydub. I will chug this whole thing live before the end of this time period. All right, there we go.
That means in the next 5 minutes, and the show's lasting another 15, which means you'll be able to see Weebo pass out before the end of the show.
And then it won't. It will go on forevermore. And I'll piss myself off.
The show just won't stop. Like, Weebs, I gotta go now. It's just.
I have to end the broadcast, Polly.
No, then you'll get an IRL.
There are two of them.
No, it'll just turn into an IRL stream of you sleeping on the floor.
You can't even see the floor from here. Oh, it's a bit dirty. I need to vacuum in here.
I've never understood why people do IRL streaming like that, where they take it to the point of having a camera on them when they're sleeping. It's a little 24-hour stream.
God, no.
Yeah. I remember when fucking Andy Worski did that for a while.
I remember seeing your feet on stream once. I think it was a stream you waxed your armpits. For the record, you have cute feet. I'm not a fetishist, by the way. Says Pete. I do have cute feet. They're adorable. They're 6 foot. They're a 6.5. There we go. 6 is too small, but 7 is too big. So they're a 6.5. In case you were thinking about buying me shoes. I don't know why I said that.
Golden Age Radio says beat off stream. Is that what the armpit stream is also known as? The whacking stream?
Was it the beat off stream? I don't know. I got in trouble for that though. Did you know that?
From? People.
I'm not allowed to say, but I did get in trouble for that stream because it was like I was prostituting myself.
Well, okay, you know what I'm noticing right now? Your cheeks are flush as fuck. I can only imagine what she's going to look like after she chugs this bottle, if she does. Like, wow.
I'll be full of red face. I trust me.
That's great.
Armpit fart stream. You know, I used to be able to do that behind my knees, actually, but I don't know if I can still do that. Hang on. Can you hear that?
No, I just hear your arm thumping against your side.
I mean, there's a little bit of a noise, but it's not much. Oh, tips for handling jet lag, says Daniel Fullman. I actually don't get jet lag. At all, actually. Really good about recuperating and adapting to new time periods or new time zones. Time zones. On a whim. But that's probably because of my age. I am a small woman of 21 years of age. And therefore, I am adept to adapt.
Daniel Fulman asked, Polly, where in the world would you like to visit? Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Really?
No, I just made that up.
Come on, Polly, be serious. The people want to know. Oh, I just spilled all
Butte,
over.
Montana.
Really?
No.
Polly! Give the viewers an answer.
Let me see. Okinawa, I'd like to visit, I think.
You want to see the fallout of the, United States' devastation of that particular area?
Well, that was a while ago, and there are people that live there, and they've kind of built it up since then.
That's funny. My grandfather visited the sites of the first, devastation of an actual nuclear bomb immediately afterwards. And he lived to 96. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it, but I'm saying that there is a positive correlation in terms of my grandfather with living a very long life and having visited a nuclear fallout site. So, do with that information what you will, all right?
And Weebo's on her way to visit the fallout and aftermath of Nazi occupation in Paris.
I don't think it's as substantial as, say, nuclear fallout.
Okinawa was never struck with an atomic bomb, Weebs.
Yeah, I think that's a very specific club to be a part of, to have been struck by an atomic bomb. There are only like 2 cities in the entirety of the world that can actually claim that, so.
Oh, yeah. Daniel points out I could bring back a tea set for you. Yeah, I guess that's true. I could.
You could totally bring me back a tea set. But I think, yeah, we'd have to have a discussion about the type of tea set. Like, you'd have to take me with you through the streets and the markets of Japan, and observe the different tea sets, and you'd be like, all right, you know what, that's aesthetically what it is that I want. Yes, choose that one.
You seem like the kind of person that would spend hours and hours of untold time going through different tea sets online or in a fine china shop picking out the particular one.
I'm very particular, Polly. All right, I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like.
Well, no, a tea set I'm gathering from you is a very personal choice. Fall Potato says they still have some ruined buildings in Hiroshima as historical sites. Yeah, I don't doubt that they do.
You know what I just realized? You said Okinawa, and I was like, oh, we bombed that place once. And you didn't correct me on that. And that was the perspective that I was coming from.
Well, there was but you didn't say atomic.
No, but
you just said like the fallout from U.S. military action. They did occupy quite strongly Okinawa. There were a lot of deaths there.
They did, but just because it sounds Japanese doesn't mean that it was bombed by us at any point in time. All right, Weebo, come on, please, have some standards.
You know where else I'd like to visit? Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
Yeah,
because it's very
so storied.
It's storied.
Yeah, but you're taking the chance on getting hugged by a splody person, though. So.
Yeah, you are taking that chance, but it's okay.
That's fine. I mean, I'd stay in the Israeli and Christian-controlled sections of the old city. I wouldn't be going over to Sharia land.
Golden Age Radio as, do you actually lift weights yet, or are you still a cardio bunny? I actually took a massive break from my workout routine for the last month, and I am significantly regretting it, and so that's why I jumped on it today, because I wanted to kickstart that in the ass, and hopefully I'll maintain it throughout the week, and then when I'm in Paris, I can slack off a little bit, because I'll be walking everywhere anyway. But after I get back, I will be back into the grind, and I think I will make a concerted effort to do some more strength training / weightlifting. But I don't know the first thing about strength training / weightlifting, so we'll see.
Oh, Christmas Island.
What about it?
I'd like to visit there too.
You'd like to visit Christmas Island?
Yeah. Have you ever seen their giant crab migrations that happen there every year? It's insane.
No, I haven't had the pleasure, Polly.
Oh man, there's like tens of thousands of crabs covering the beach. It's fucking nuts.
Ooh, Daniel Fulman asks about broken New Year's resolutions. Polly, do you have any?
You mean in years past kind of thing? Is that what
Yeah,
the
sure.
question is?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever done the New Year's resolution thing. I just heard about it again and again.
I know people make them, but I've never actually consciously made one that I was actually intent on adhering to. I make week resolutions though. Like I will work out 4 out of 5 days or 4 out of 7 days. Sorry, there are 7 days in a week. I will work out 4 out of 7 days this week. Polly, I'm having trouble. Help. And I will log all of my food goals for the next 30 days for whatever reason. Okinawa was shelled technically. Yeah, no, I've never actually made a resolution that I actually intended to adhere to. I've been asked, what are you resolving to do this year, Weebo, by certain relatives, and I've just given them a bullshit answer like, oh, I'm going to endeavor to get straight A's, which I did one semester. But that was one semester. Crabs drinking gasoline. Polly, what does that mean?
You got to come by Noir Bar. We have a good time over there because it's a late night chill stream, and I'm usually pretty drunk, and Far's usually there, so it's a fun time. So anyway, we were reading a WikiHow article on how to predict the future.
Yes.
Are you trying to smell the wine through the bottle?
It's cold, Polly. And my cheeks are warm.
My cheeks are warm. I would be able to tell they're not the same shade of red as the wine at all. Okay, so anyway,
can you tell your difference?
And in this WikiHow article, it was like how to tell the future. Make sure you pay attention to your dreams. So if you have a vision of and used a fleet of crabs drinking gasoline on a beach at night, take note.
Strange.
It was. And it was like, dissect the symbolism of it and blah, blah, blah. And we get a kick out of reading WikiHow articles over there, especially if they're like busting balls on would-be witches and stuff. Like at one point I started telling you how to cast your vision into a crystal ball to tell the future. And it's like, oh, God, really?
You've never done that, Polly?
No. I think my all-time favorite one was how to make holy water, how to make solar and lunar water for your Wiccan rituals. That was great.
Wait. The only difference is how you pray over it, right?
What? The difference between solar and lunar water for your fake Wiccan rituals?
And holy water versus just natural water, right?
Well, okay, they use the term holy water like they don't mean holy water like Catholic holy water. They mean holy water for their pretend made up rituals.
But holy water is just you have to pray over it specifically, or you have to have someone specific.
It has to be blessed in the name of Christ by somebody who's in a position to be able to do something like that.
My grandma gave me holy water once. And so what I did with it was I took it and I poured it in a whole bunch of other just random water. And I was like, now I have a whole bunch of water that's holy.
You diluted it. Now it's only 25% strength.
No. They don't tell you that it's diluted. They don't say that. They just say it's holy. And so pouring it into regular old water makes the rest of that water also holy by default, which means that you can fight off ghosts with it. I learned that. I think
through where did you learn that?
Supernatural.
I could see the wheels turning. It was like, oh.
It made sense to me. Because it's still holy water. Sure, it might be. Okay, does the laws of dilution work with holy water like it does with, actual chemistry?
The associative principle does not work with blessings, weebs.
So what you're saying is it wasn't actually holy water?
No.
Are you sure about that?
So the fact that you splashed it all over your house to get rid of the ghosts meant that there were no ghosts there to begin with.
Are you saying, is what I think you're saying, that I didn't actually create more holy water?
Were you selling it to people as holy water?
No, I just I thought I was being clever. I was a young, small child.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the reasoning, but it was flawed because you could. I mean, isn't that how? What's that crappy new age fuckery called, where you use extremely diluted versions of homeopathy?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, homeopathy's like that, an extremely dilute solution of whatever the fuck will cure you of every disease that you have. And oh yeah. We're on the Streamlabs. Thank you very much. Next 6 minutes. Here's a couple of bucks for your potato fund or for a cup of coffee. Give this otter some love, y'all. He needs a new potato. He does.
Also,
he does.
From the next 6 minutes. Oh, hang on. I gotta do the thing. All right, hang on. Pause. I'm sorry. Pause. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Ooh, let me just move myself over. Why didn't you tell me that was a thing? Thank you.
Because it was funnier to see half frame Weebo not realize it.
Fuck you. Thank you. The next 6 minutes. Almost missed the show. Work kept me away. Have a great trip, Weebs. All good vibes your way. Everyone help Polly out with his potato. Polly needs a new potato. And yes, most definitely donate to Polly. But you gotta have to do it on a different show because right now we are over. We're done. It's done. I have to pee. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes from the start time and then some seconds. And as a result, Weebo has to go to the little girl's room. She's had half a bottle of wine. You can't blame her. But yeah, and Polly's got to do whatever Polly does after the show.
I got to make a phone call. See, pizzas, it makes sense to me. You put a drop of holy water and some more water and bang, all the water is holy. But by that logic, if you poured a jug of holy water into a river that was ocean bound, all the water in the world would be holy.
So therefore, we have a never-ending surplus of holy water. Holly, you've solved the crisis of holy water. I didn't know that was a thing, but it's a thing. Anyway, so thank you to everyone who came and watched us and who sat in the chat and commented on the show and who liked and subscribed based off of what they saw. Thank you kindly.
Although I don't know why you would have. That's cool.
We're charming, Polly. That's why. We're charismatic, obviously, and also I'm adorable. So there's that. But
yeah.
Well, thank you to Polly
more the latter than the former. But yeah.
Thank you for Polly tolerating me for the last 2.5 hours. I appreciate it.
What?
I'm appreciating you appreciating me or tolerating me at the very least.
Oh, I thought you were saying that to the audience, and I was like,
no. It takes a very special person, a very special human, or a very special otter to tolerate me.
Oh, it's not tolerance. It's I don't know. I'm drunk. I don't have a witticism. Ooh, let's go with that.
Anyway, so thank you to everyone.
To tolerate you, Weebs. It's a again, I've drank too much to be witty. So yeah.
Word. So thank you to Polly, and also thank you to everyone who donated. A special thanks to you guys. You guys help make the show. You sponsor it. You make it what it is, and you give us incentive, I guess, to come back next week. Although I don't think we'll be here next week because, yeah, I'm in Paris next week. So, but you know what? We should do makeup shows within the next week.
Yeah, we could. Just make sure you send your thoughts and prayers that the caliphate doesn't kidnap Weebo and send her off to some godforsaken place in the Middle East.
If I do get kidnapped, I look forward to the entourage of my fan base searching me out and finding me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it ahead of time. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you. Good night. Polly, do you have anything you want to shill before we leave?
Just my channel. Check it out. It's awesome. Fun stuff happens there.
Do it. It's linked in the description. Enjoy it. And whenever it is that Polly releases the holiday episode of
Don't tell them. They don't know. They don't know.
Enjoy that. All right. Anyway, so bye guys.
Don't spoil
I'll
the
see
fun.
you when I see you next, whenever that may be. Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.